Okay. Now. Now let's watch the champions.
Place, because when you eliminate the factor of them not getting contested off the start, and then being able to get max mats, max shield, max utility, it's easy. MMB can execute with the shockwaves to retake. They can execute by putting pressure down with RPGs, and when they have more ammunition than anybody could possibly have, and when you go to challenge for the high ground, they always have traps, they always have builds. Euro, what's up? Are you just gonna let him run away with it? Because right now, that's what's happening after game one, and it is like, it's not even close. Somebody either has to go, or you have to find a way to be able to take them over. But again, it's not completely out of the woodwork. As you can see, the Train H trio was also able to push up and challenge, only 2 points underneath them. And then again, Tohaj, Bella EU, and Kaxi staying disciplined, making sure they're getting a couple of early elims in rotation, always looking for picks, but then having the ability to make the late game plays, and then just the individual efforts are what it's going to be about. If that's what Friday and Saturday were about, now we're in grand final day. When you're sitting there, there's not multiple matches going on, you're just continuing to run through. You have to be able to clutch up in the final moments. And again, I just want to remind everyone what we predicted going into the European region, just so we could kind of hammer this home a little bit. I mean, Shy, what's up, man? You want to talk about it? I'm just saying. I know you're going for the clickbait. I know you want a little bit of engagement. It wouldn't necessarily been the best if you had all gone with MMB. But as a fellow analyst and someone who watches a ton of competitive Fortnite and what is going down, how can you not argue the fact that they are definitively the best and set up for success right now? If you aren't able to take away retail from them or find a way to limit their success coming out of it, but like, I don't want to challenge them when they have all that loot. Do you? Because clearly the rest of Europe, and I mean, they're much better than me. That's for sure. This is the best of the best. Again, you can see Europe has the most participated region competitively, both during the World Cup and during the FNCS, and continuing to show that with the high prize pool and the high level of gameplay and innovative strategies that continue to come out. But right now, match number 2 is ready. Enough from me. Let's get back on into it. Lupo and Monster, take us on in.
Sundown, thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing yet again another Mongrel Mitro Benji drop into retail uncontested. Shy wager in the back. Very sad that he's chosen poorly.
All right, though, let's look at this bus right here splitting across the map. Just take a look at how players are going to land. We saw what happened with Harmy, Pepper, Camo in their early game. They're in that pleasant area. They got rotated on real quick. And you can see that arrow just up on the left, looking down south, kind of making that same eyeball, probably getting that same information. So we'll see what happens there. Take a look over at Retail Row. Sky's looking clear. Nice sunny day for Mitro, Mongrel, and Benji once again. And not only that, the coast is clear to Lava Pit. The coast is clear far down south. The coast is clear to about as far as Racetrack. No one is near them.
Literally no one is dropping over there. I don't even know what to say about that. It makes sense, but there's so much loot there. I mean, you could contest it and hold Blacktop side and get them to concentrate on Resi and then rotate out east or north. It's not the choice thus far. Moisty Palms down here. Don't forget, if you crouch, you turn into something.
RBK boys are going to get the first knock of the game right there as Red Rush finds someone on the left-hand side. We have Zypan and Left Eye poised up. They're making the quick mark. Hey, they're getting the push. They know where the last duo is here at the Moisty Palms. They're in the back residential area, so the battle has already commenced. I think it's Left Eye. No, it's actually Zypan who's already dived on them. Here it is. He's got the perch up. Is he going to be able to see him? Red Rush catches a nice shot right there, and that was a little combo. Hand cannon into the AR. Quick little finish right there.
Oh, wow.
See what Zypan's going to do is he's pressuring no shotgun, just SMGs and ARs. That's aggressive.
Honestly, it's time to hold that W key. You have 2 down. Even if you throw one person down on the ground, they get knocked. Still free 3 elims. The trade out, you get the revive right here. No big deal. Knock the wall.
Side wall is going to grab it. Quick little edit. Shotgun pop.
There it is. Literally textbook aggression there. Left eye with the trade. Red Rush following through, picking up 3 eliminations total for the team already, and Moisty Palms basically at this point has been claimed. Keep in mind, though, Fuexi and Dementos up there on the top of your screen, they are just outside of the west-southwest. I don't expect pressure in from above, although they are in at least a decent position to look down.
When you end the battle that quick, you just can't even rotate in on them. They're already ahead of the curve. But now taking a look at Kezra, Trippin, and Marcus here. We're in a little 3-way battle over at the Modern House. Shots are coming in. Nice usage of the suppressed pistol right there. Is going to be a sneaky shot. 44 headshot. This does respectable damage. It's so accurate. Vorin goes down, and look, he doesn't even know where the shots are coming from. You can't really track it. That's another one right there. And it looks like he is out of builds. Nice little pop right there is going to take up Revoke. And suddenly, tables have changed. Now it's a 2v1. He's going to push all the way through.
And potentially they didn't realize the suppressed pistol may be one of the best kind of mid-range weapons right now, just because of the
underrated
early game. It like I said, it's so accurate. You pace your shots. You could even spray with it, and you'll still hit 44s. We'll edit there, looking to follow through on this third one. Pick up a trio, and maybe the revive is very fast. The edits. Now still on 2v1. Gets another tag inside. There it is, the follow through, and nowhere. Sorry, eliminated.
I like how he played it.
That's solid.
He played it safe, right? He didn't do anything too reckless. He didn't jump in. He was like, you know what? I'm just going to make the edits. I see that you clearly can't build. You're in between all my builds. He just takes it nice and slow, took his time, got the pop in, and just like that, they cleaned that up real nice. That's 9 points now. They're in the running.
Honestly, hats off for baiting your teammates with a suppressed pistol at that range and being effective enough that at first you might think, what are you doing?
Yep.
It ended up being literally the best call at the time. So seriously, very solid play there.
Looking at Starly. Dude, Starly's just watching. What's going on here? Is he poising up? Yep, there's Aqua and Shinken up top. So they see what's going on. He's trying to see if he can get a side shot, maybe baiting his squad mate. Talking about baiting out. Looking for a little bit of bait there. Aqua tries to take the high ground, and actually he is successful. He finds a little piece of it. This is so sturdy here. It's built up on all of this brick, it looks like. Here comes some explodes, though. This is a weird fight. This is such a weird fight. Just the angle, the placement, where you are on the map so early in the game. But the high ground take right there from Scalar, timing the shockwave, and suddenly the surprise factor. It's his now, and he actually laid a ton of shots down with that sub SMG. He has no shotgun, though.
Up until that shockwave, it was basically a 2v2 with each team having their third player bait on the outside and wait for a chance to take shots. Here we go. A push on through, a solid take of the wall. Finds Aqua, which means Stompy and Shinken need to make a push, a play here. Shinken actually goes down to the feet as well. Follow through. Looks like a 3v1 now as Stompy is the only one left on the south side of this group. Shots through, finds a shield tag. Scalar trying to push up top, maintain at least high ground challenge. Maybe a rotate jump on the outside. Tries to find it, can't quite yet. Knocking down the structure would be relatively easy, but looks like it'll apply pressure and try and follow through. Didn't realize Stompy did have a line of sight there. No builds.
Wait a second. They actually have no builds. If Stompy has builds, he can clutch this up low key. Yeah, there it is. That's why. They got to get the heals up. Okay, now that they have some shield going on here, looks like Stompy has no more armor either, but he's not giving it up for free. He's putting these shots down. He catches Scalar. He can convert right there, but he's not going to be enough. Dude, that was so close for Stompy. That team was looking like they were just running through our world-class trio right there. But Stompy showing, hey, listen, I've been around the block for a while now.
You know, you run on the mats in the middle of a build fight like that, and the fear sets in so quickly. Stompy not able to clutch up. Valiant effort, though. That trio goes down. Very early, too. 29 trios remaining. Not a single point. But honestly, I mean, you can't feel too bad about that. That's going to happen from time to time. 1 or 2 games that is won't necessarily affect overall
as far as we can
placement.
tell, they're not having the best run now, right? They only had 2 points previously, which means that they were in it, but to get taken out that early, it's another 0-point game. So now you gotta think about it. Something's not working there. Gotta figure it out.
Or about the
regardless of what, there are 4 of them things right here. There's 4 trios here. 4 teams nearby.
This is actually probably the smartest rotation in the moment, too.
I
Jump
love
on
this
the
rotation.
hoverboard, throw down a little bubble
It's a giveaway.
shield.
Look, it's a giveaway.
Yeah, but at that point, I mean, you're going to have other teams. If they try and push in and jump on top of that, they're going to run into each other, too, here in a second. We'll see.
No fear. Kezra, Marcus, and Tripper are getting collapsed on here. And now the shield bubble is all in the way, which it can work. There's a lot of benefits to having this distraction here. Notice he's going to put another one down now, just making sure he's going to keep this Coliseum up for the time being. Edits are being made, though. Kaiser's going to get collapsed up. Hits a big 140, though, so not before he does some damage. Baby Belvid here putting some good shots down as well. And again, he's flirting around that shield bubble area, so he's got to be a little careful with how he, moves in and out. Be a distracting factor. Chopping up the minigun here. He's going to take him right out. Minigun's so good. It's just meta.
You got that early pressure trying to push the walls down. Belvid trying to follow through in the shots. That shield bubble kind of caused a little bit of an issue just on the outside of it, dancing back and forth. Like you said, it kind of creates a coliseum, like an arena inside there. Players are going to have to push in and try and get to you in the moment. So it forces box fights. And at this
100%.
point, if you're sitting on a shotgun, especially attack like this, your teammates have them as well. It's a good opportunity to make people come in. You bait them into the box, get those big hits. Clement, we saw earlier, you mentioned the clutch during the qualifier, the heats. Picks up an Elim in the feed. Temper as well, Ritz.
Looks like another team has decided they want a piece of this action. Down comes the Stinkers. They're only going to catch Baby Belvid here with a couple of ticks. No, actually, they're hitting the whole team now. Great usage of the Stinkers there to try and buy themselves some times, but again, the Stinkers are just putting all of the pressure in. I've already counted about 4 or 5 of them, so they probably have another 1 or 2. Got to be careful here. The campfire coming down now is going to be a dead giveaway for their location. Majin playing cat and mouse here. They're going to actually back up, so they throw all that resource. All that resource to only back up. I guess they figured, oh, dude, they're still shielded. They have health. They haven't fell yet. Let's back up here. It's not worth the risk.
I'd rather see a team burn the resource, though, and everybody stay alive in the game than have them go down basically fighting or maybe lose 1 or 2 people, to pick up an Elim, when placement is so much more important, especially you see that team that pushed in for just a second. They're rotating out to the northwest. So Majin, Belvid, and Nate, they're fine now. They can sit. Camo goes down to Mr. Savage in the feed. Not having a good game 1 or 2 thus far.
So that means they're nearby. They're up in that northwest part of the map here, which is where the zone is actually going. So that's why there's no surprise we see some box fights going on up there for Mr. Savage. When they have that zone comfortability, they can take their time. Rojo, Item, and Savage. That's a scary, scary trio. But either way, the feed is popping off. Andalex is going to find Harmy. So it looks like the server's collapsing on that trio there. Pepper, Harmy, Camo being the victims here. Mitra's going to find Klusha in the feed as well, and it's just going down right now. So there it is. Here's take a look at Mitro. Here's the grenade set up.
And
this is such a nifty trick. If you're 60 to 70 meters out, it's just so easy for them.
It's like
actually,
just
they were over.
Right on top, basically exploded before they could make full contact. A valiant effort there.
The question is, who did their math?
Work on your geometry, gentlemen. Mitro, Mongrel, Benji Fishy sitting on 23 points thus far. That victory royale from last game. There's that elimination on Cluja, the knock previously. Put them up to 24 now. Rotate back in this box to pick up what was left. Shield bubble protecting the team they tried to drop bombs on just moments ago. They're going to rotate across, get closer to the center of Loot Lake there. That permanent rift, pretty important for making a rotation. If you're stuck in a tough spot, use that low grav, make your way in, a couple ramp builds, build up, get inside that if you need to escape, especially because you see the zones moving in. They do have a team on the outside, so a Stormhold is exactly, back-to-back hits there. Mongrel finding a bead on a team moving in. And that trio, they want to push for that rift. They can make it to it without going down to MMB. Be a big save there, but we will see if the Stormhold decision what comes through for this trio.
It's crazy because, like, at this point, it's just become such an iconic loadout for Mongrel. The infantry rifle in his
100%.
hand, it's deadly. Putrick gets knocked there. That's exactly what we're talking about. It's just deadly. It does too much damage. Excuse me, it does just way too much damage. He's too accurate. He pops everyone with it. It's over.
You're too good. Please stop. Game
So
2.
good.
Already looking like it's going to be a good one for this trio. And it's important to note, even if you just get the tags on the outside, you do have that 60-second window after dealing damage. If the storm ends up being what knocks the player you tag, you do get credit for it. And he's going to look for another hit here in a second. Kind of surprised to me he didn't stay on that. He saw the player building up on that ramp, had a chance to just peek up 1-2 shots would have been enough potentially. And they're marking it like crazy. Going to fire in now. Here we go. Finds back-to-back hits. So scary. accurate. Mitro, another elimination.
And it's unfortunate because they already hit one player, right? He popped them twice. That player was weak on health. They must have had a fight in the storm at some point or another for them to be so weak coming out of the storm line like that. They got one, they got two. You know they're going to hunt down this third right now. There's no reason not to.
That's actually a really good note to make. So Mitro only got shield tags the first two shots back. So the fact that the knock came through,
that's how they knew they were
immediately
weak.
clued. Yeah, these guys don't have a whole lot left. We have an opportunity. We can push them, get these elims, and this is where they're going to find the third on this trio. Stormy Right goes down right there.
Yeah,
Another,
187.
yeah.
It was blue.
Stop,
no
dude.
health though.
Mongrel, human aimbot right now. That infantry rifle, scary. Yo, Mongrel,
Now
if you ever want
it's
to
up
run
there.
duos, dog, I'll give you an infantry rifle every game. I'm just putting that out there.
Just throwing it out
Yeah,
there.
it's seriously, ridiculously accurate.
Set this
So
man up for
good.
success, as Sundown said.
Like,
Their trio
no
has
joke.
just really been taking it away here. It's what we expected. I know it's something you guys have heard a lot over the weekend, but it's just that true.
It is. It really is. I mean, we wouldn't say it if it wasn't an absolute fact at this point. These guys are far and away one of the best trios we've ever seen play the game. Now, like to note, you do have a number of people stacking up in front of MMB, a third-party chance. If they move across on the north side of this group, you see the marks. They're going to move up there. They have a chance to look down on anybody on the south side. You see the teams, the silhouettes through on the far left side of your screen. Now the center, you looked over real quick as Mongrel's moving forward there. They're going to get in position to look down on this. They do, however, they're going to have people on the north. They're going to have people bunched up all around this mountain. There are so many teams. I would say, what, 6, 7 teams right there? Absolutely ridiculous. Now, we want to throw up. I mentioned the infantry rifle and Mongrel and actually all of them, honestly, but we want to put up a replay from week 4. Mongrel with the infantry rifle, just how intimidatingly good here in a second. This team pushing up. Cut over that here in a second. We want to make sure we do not miss what is going on right now. Applying pressure, literally just shots after shots after shots. The shockwave
Good
there.
shockwave
There.
off for them. Good
I'm
shockwave
now.
off.
That was the time to move, absolutely.
That's right.
I now. am
Mongrel's
narrating.
gonna get traded back. He's gonna get hit pretty hard here.
Yes.
Replay's going to have to wait,
All
gentlemen.
right, and as it looks, Mongrel's
gonna stay
literally
alive
just
here in the
sitting.
bottom of this
Okay,
box.
that's boring.
All right, looks like things are slowing down.
27 points now,
Now's the time.
giving them shields. Not to waste a lot though. He didn't want to drink the big pods. That was good. Pulling down
See
one
here
big
in a
pod.
second, gonna pop up.
They don't have
Any
any
shields they
cozies
can.
on them, so it looks
A
like
bit
they
of a
don't
share
have
there. The
any
minis
healables, but they
splash
do
gonna
have
come
chug
through and
splashes, which is very
push the rest
good
of
of
the
them.
HP up
So he gets
61
his
now.
heals
Here we
back.
go. Take a look back.
Oh, it looks like
Mongrel, the
Hayes
infantry rifle.
Mongrel, good with his
Watch the shots.
infantry.
Non-stop hit after hit. Players flying in from above. This is absolute insanity.
That was
You
last
take an
game,
infantry
right?
rifle and put it in an average player's hands. It's questionable sometimes, but you give it to one of these guys, literally beaming players out of the air. They're flying. They're even doing, popping the redeploy out and putting away the glider.
Yep.
To change elevation and make them really hard to hit.
Looks like they're
Doesn't even
peeking
matter.
out. Make sure they
Still
don't
hit
get
their
sniped.
shots every time.
But you know,
Just
they're good. They can
And
have
that short
pretty fast.
clip, guys.
But
almost
as you can see,
300
they're
damage.
just sitting
That's
here
ridiculous.
You're
waiting
talking
for placement
every
points
shot
to come in,
connected.
even though
Every shot
they have to
connecting.
wait
It
very
really creates
long.
a
Taking their
snowball
peaks
effect
and
over the lobby
everything,
when you
making
start
sure though that they
raking
don't
away.
get sniped
One
while
hit
doing
from
it.
that infantry rifle at that range, that's like 2 minis basically.
Why am I calling
crazy.
You're just
I don't
ripping shield off of them, resource, health,
crazy.
everything. And that's the steamroll effect. That's the snowball effect that happens here. But this is going to be a tough rotation. They have to go through what looks like a valley of death, right? It's between 2 mountains. Like for them, there's not too many people poised up just yet to their left and rights. So here comes a launch pad play. They're just going to cut straight across. Teams have already moved, and placement is just going to favor them right now. The enemies are not in the right places. Rojo's going to find Majin right there in the feed. And that means things are popping off in the server right now. $C is also going to get someone to collapse on right there. But Mitro now set up on the outside. The pressure's coming in. They've isolated a team on the back storm line. If they can get this squad out, they can take out this trio. They own this back half of the zone right now.
Keep in mind, we're coming up on the 50-50 soon. Circle 5 here. 30 seconds till this storm closes, then we're gonna have to see players make a move. TAC SMG, regardless of the range, is so good. Mongrel picking up a elimination there. Frey, the only one left. This trio potentially, it looks like sizing it up to try and locate that last player if they deem fit to pick up that Elam. We'll see here in a second.
Mongrel and Mitro.
A bit of a loot share in the bottom here.
And then
Spread the shield around.
Oh my god.
Imagine a gold infantry rifle and a crown between these three players is it's getting left behind because I think they're all already running it.
Yeah, they're all definitely running it.
NFM.
Oh no, and they got zone just now. So the crucial
Stop, dude.
knock,
Stop,
the zone
dude.
here, they're going to be able to go back down, replenish loot if there's extra to spare. But not only that, they already control the zone back here. They took the team out that was here. They know they own this area.
Epic, listen, all right? I don't know how much they paid you, but these perks got to stop. This is insane. Literally, they're in the... Dude, this is insanity. One of the luckiest circles I think I've seen for arguably the best team in Europe right now, and they're sitting pretty already. By the way, they're not actually paying. This is a joke, chat. Don't worry. This is ridiculous.
Well, let's see what they do with it. So high ground, clearly theirs. If anyone launches across them, they're going to pay the bullet price because they have
100%.
the location, they have the poise up. It's Andretta who's going to be able to squeak across the bottom here. Artur, and the shots are now raining. Can they connect? We saw him do it before. We saw the clip just a little bit ago. Here goes the open up right here. If you flip by, you're going to get tagged. And we talk about this creates snowball effects for them. Mongrel out in the open right now, just looking for anyone to kind of cut across the field here so that they can just continue to slay out right now.
Quick note, that gold infantry that was on the ground, I believe, was Mitra's. Looks like he swapped to the purple AR. I'm thinking for the spray opportunity as we start to close the circle, and you don't want to sit on infantry for too long. That being said, too, I don't think he has attack SMG. Otherwise, he probably would have kept with it. Also, are you kidding me with the crate literally dropping basically right on top of them?
I don't think they caught it.
You have so many players stacked up now.
Snuck right by.
14 trios at this point. 2 more need to go down. You have Rojo, Item, Mr. Savage, all still alive on your screen there. Motor and Verox yet again down to just a duo. Same thing happened last game. You have players literally stacking up on top of each other at this point as everyone has to move north going into the next circle. They have 18 seconds until they have to move.
The only thing holding them back right now is Splodes or Heavy Sniper. If they had something to really break through these strong map builds, this high ground would, they'd be impenetrable. It'd be crazy right now. But the fact that their loadout is holding them back, the infantry rifle, we talk about there's a sweet spot for it. This is where you can't really pierce the builds with it. So that's why he's using that attack SMG right now. And even at this range, it's not the best. But shots are coming out. A quick 200 damage thrown out at the lobby right there. And now they cut across. Oh, you saw the mark right there. They're marking these enemies out, and the Storm's going to finish it up for him. So AV Pro's going to go down. Magnus is going to go down. That entire trio. Mongrel's going to land on a player. Could not flick in time. He gets taken out by TSM Crew, one of the recent recruits for TSM Crew. Again, finishing very high in the solo portion of the Fortnite World Cup. Mongrel is going to still continue to convert on those elims because of the Storm, though.
Huge
so now the duo.
there.
What's left is Mitro and Benji.
8 eliminations thus far, down to only 2 of them. Mongrel, like you said, paid the price to Crew there. Just barely. It looked like he missed the elevation, had to double back, land on the ramp, and ended up box sharing, having to go for that fight. Meanwhile, all the way at the top, Verox, Motor, Boyer, actually, the third is still in it. Didn't see him earlier. My apologies. Moving across the top, that tarp in an excellent spot, and the circle looks like it's cutting back basically the same direction. So that trio up top, they already own all those builds. They don't have to do anything other than look down and take shots, but Mitro, Benji Fishy, staying alive inside the shield bubble, trying to find a beat on the player, moving around. A little bit of a cat and mouse situation.
They need this. They need this. They have no builds. That's why they're sticking together. That's why they're box pushing right now.
Solid.
Bella EU, that's a huge knock right there. Tohaj as well. He flicks and takes him out. These are crucial knocks. We're talking about the most consistent, second most consistent, and the most consistent team clashing against one another. Can they convert on the final player right here? He only has 70 builds. Mitro's going to get taken out from behind, but that was still a monstrous run for 9 Elans and getting close to placement right there. But now
they did make it. They
going.
finished top 10 trios, so placement points did come through for them.
Falcony still in the game, takes out Caxi. We saw him make it all the way through in the final moments of the last game, so placement for that team as well. Now looking at Dallas, takes out Andretta. We have Mr. Savage playing the mid ground here. We know E11 Boyer, Verox, and others are on the high ground here. He's got to be careful. See what Savage is going to do. Is looking for opportunity, looking for a shot here. Nice shield bubble. He's Gonna kind of mess with his peripheral here, but again, they're in that Coliseum bubble. They're safe here. High ground can't beam him down unless they bring him down. Lukey's gonna go down. Nice trap play. He's gonna read it perfectly here. Baits the trap, and he's totally fine now. He can break on out of here with time to spare. Savage goes for high ground. Does he completely have it? Not quite yet. He's gonna break on out. Now he goes back down to low ground.
High to ultimate low, the spray there,
He had
such a
no
tough
builds.
spot. Lands right at the edge of the zone, had to move in, only 2 builds, and 2 players literally holding an edit, looking down all the way on the high ground now. Crew knocked.
Somehow
Probably not gonna be a
Beehive took the
pickup.
high ground with Crew and Chapix.
This is keeping Crew in the game thus far. There we go, waiting for it. Wanted to hold out for anything in the inventory. A shockwave, wait.
Oh, that was a mistake.
Beehive.
Okay, Chapix
pushing
bounces
Chapix
back
out.
though, but Chapix is ruined now.
Beehive
Okay, he's
might have
out.
actually cost Chapix at that point. Beehive pushing back up in the air. 3 trios remaining. A shot from above. Gonna have to convert to make up for that knock basically on his teammate at this point. Kind of a situationally tough call there. Crew already out. 1 player left. $C goes down. Snader picks it up on the slack there. Dark Arena with the finish. Another elimination for that trio. Chapix down now.
Hyper vigilant right now. He's looking all around. He has no more builds. He can't even use a shockwave to break in. He has to go underneath and break up and over if he really wants to here. But he's waiting for the edit, trying to see if he can make a mistake here. One mistake and they're gonna eat this shot. Low ground warriors coming out of him. Can he hit the shot? Dark Arena goes down. Huge pump. And he connects in the final moments. Beehive with no materials still pulls through. Takes the L, gives the L, and catches a 2-piece at the end.
Yo, you know that Discord call right now is like, okay, you know what? Don't do it again. But it's a good thing you got the win.
Look
Are
out
you
for
kidding me?
Beehive, Crew, and Chapix. Sundown and Zeke on the floor. What do you guys have?
Thank you guys so much. What an incredible clutch there in those final moments of the game. So again, Europe is pretty stacked, and it's showing it's not just MMB that are going to be the trio that takes the whole tournament away. There are other teams as well, Crew, Beehive, and Chapix. Very big shout outs to you guys. Now, we're going to take a look at the standings with our best friend Sundown. But first, what we're going to do is actually use some cool augmented reality to show you guys some stuff that you might be seeing in Fortnite, just in case you might be new. So Sundown, let's send it over to you.
We're gonna take a look at a simulated build battle so we can see a typical interaction you'll see in competitive Fortnite. When one player is able to establish the high ground, the player on the low ground uses his shockwave utility to go up onto the backside, build up a level, and then pump out the opponent. This now gives him the positional advantage on the rest of the lobby. Make sure you keep an eye out for this during the FNCS Grand Finals.
I mean, augmented reality is pretty dope. It's in fact so dope that Monster Deface is yelling the word dope over and over, not that far away from us. You can't hear it, thankfully. But let's hop in with these standings real quick. Still leading the pack, you've got Mongrel, Mitro, and Benji. They are at the top with 35 points. We did see them place 8th in that last game. Next up in second, we've got E11's Item, Rojo, and Mr. Savage, Tohaj, Bell EU, and Caxi. They're still holding down that 3rd place spot after the first. I mean, we're only 2 games in. We have 6 total to play. This is pretty good after 2 games.
Well, and even for them, that was what they considered not a good performance. They missed out on the 2nd placement threshold, which is basically like their bar for success. However, they're getting an abnormal amount of elims for them. They have the 2nd most elims across the board. 9 in the first match, 6 in the second, only second to MMB going on right now. Trainane's trio up there as well at 26. And then again, you can see Crew, Beehive, and Chapix 25. And we talk about the distinct lines even after just the 2 matches. You're starting to kind of see it here.
Yep.
There's a 6-point gap at 2 matches, which you don't think that's a lot, but that's basically a trio wipe or placement points going on right there. I mean, that's right about the line that we expect at the top 8. However, this is not what we expected. Them only having a 7-point lead for 2 matches, 7 points is a very easy swing in trios. We talk about like 15 being the victory royale, but kind of the sweet spot of like a pop-off game. But I mean, right there, right there, right there. Every single one of these and all of these trios are completely capable of having that. You saw right there at the end, despite the misplay coming through by Beehive, he was able to then clutch it up over the top and take it home. I mean, all of these guys are capable of winning this right now. And I mean, this is closer than I would have expected after 2 matches.
And I mean, think about it, right? Coming out of that last game, Crew, Beehive, and Chapix, they had no points. The Victory Royale is worth 15 points. And they got, as a collective, 10 eliminations, a 25-point game to take them from nothing all the way into 5th place. One stellar game sent them all the way up here. So even MMB, they're still in striking range. No one is safe. Now we'll kind of see this trend shake up a little bit in the next few games. We might see a lead develop, but this is still very much anyone's game.
Very much anyone's game. And now we're going to take a look at kind of how that last game played out. We're going to see some of the key eliminations, the early game and mid-game matchups, and how this all developed, because we want to tell the complete story. So right off the bat, you can see the Moisty Palms fight coming through and how critical it is to base your gameplay around what weaponry you get. You can see great angles being taken. They're able to isolate the opponent out, and this is the very first trio and interaction that happens in the game. And honestly, it's really tough when you're on the other side of it. They got cleaned out last time in that fight. So the question is now, you've lost the Moisty Palms drop twice in a row. Do you stick to that game plan, or does it feel like you're just not getting started and getting going? How are players going to be able to adapt now as we're on board here with Kezzer and Marcus? You can see the pressure coming through. They're able to pick up Warren, Nord, and Provoked, who had a pretty good first game, but then got pushed down as well. Starly picking up some great shots there over on Shinkin being picked up, and then Scalar being able to follow it up with the high rate of fire weapon. And this is what we talked about. You isolate somebody when you have numbers, then you pinch in and you execute. The world champion going down there, Scalar saying, hey, you might be a world champion, but I'm pretty good when it comes to playing in AU. Starly and crew were able to clutch up yesterday to make it, and we said, hey, it's just all about making it there, because once you're there, all of these players are capable of making plays. And unfortunately, Toha is getting caught very early on in the rotation, so still being able to make it to placement points despite being 2v3. And now we hopped on board with Clement, Bad Sniper, and Hoppy, who were able to clutch up yesterday. And this is a fight that's gone down twice. Two up-and-coming teams now fighting off in Gotham, and both times they've wiped the other trio, but then gotten third-partied as somebody else has rotated through. And then MMB, when you have this much range and this much accuracy and you're this good, the amount of damage that's capable coming out from the infantry rifle is ridiculous. Now back on board here with Bad Sniper, Hoppy, and Kaplan. As we talked about, they were able to get the initial fight in Gotham, but they keep getting challenged afterward. That's the RBK boys, however, able to clear it out this time.
Mongro, Mitro, and Benchy, that infantry rifle just putting in all the work across the board from them. I mean, Dr. Lupo said it best. Mongro is basically an aimbot in his own regard. I mean, more of Bad Sniper as well, hopping over from Clement. We saw that insane clutch from him yesterday that you showed us on the replay. And it's just more of these trios popping off, man. I'm really excited about this because Europe's insane. We all know that. That's a fact. But there's so many teams that are showing up in different aspects. It's like really prioritizing what they do and doing it very, very well. That's why I think like this is going to be very, very close up until the very end.
It's closer than I thought it would be. I think if MMB can get one of their like solid victory royale heavy elims games, they might be able to push it kind of out of range. But the one big thing you're noticing a lot coming out here is the aggression from Europe. When you watch other regions, you don't see this amount of fighting as quickly or as definitively. I mean, look at that. Just he pushes into the box of Dementos and the Gambit guys and no problem takes it, knowing the shield bubble is there, preventing the fight from going over. They get the conversions. They're okay with pushing in and trading people out, with the assumption being either A, we can 2v3 it on out and we'll take the points there, or we'll be able to get a reboot at some point, or we'll come out the better of the trade. That's the difference, I feel like. Other regions are scared to lose someone when it ends up being a net profit, whereas Europe is confident enough in their abilities to keep challenging. I mean, just look at this. Mongo is flying right on, unfortunately does get taken down in that circumstance, but he's still going. He wants to be landing on people. He wants to be taking fights. This is everybody going for high ground. They're not safe rotating down to the low. This is the two top teams right now who are looking to challenge for that height, because they know that is the best opportunity. They don't just want to make it there. They want to be consistent.
Now it's just, you know, and the story's just writing itself. Really what's going to run happening is Jerry Jones is going to be right to check. It's all said and done. You said it, absolutely right. And this team is the best team in the NFC right now because of how Dak Prescott is playing. The guy is playing unbelievable.
I have to do something. I'll invite you when I am able to play a few.
Uncomfortable.
Okay.
So you talk about a guy where he was as a quarterback last year to where he is right now. He has improved an incredible amount, and that's why, you know, I think when you.
Thank you.
I mean, the big thing there, too, is he waited out in the storm till the player who was out either ran out of builds or had to commit. And then the second he heard another gunshot, he was like, oh, it's not just me against the world. I'm going. And he went and was able to commit. But enough from us. Game number 3 is ready and underway. And Zeke and I are going to take you right on into it. So let's hop onto the battle bus and get ready, because Europe is cooking. We're about halfway there now.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. At the end of this all, we will have Season X champions coming out of Europe. We saw MMB currently at the top of the leaderboard, but several teams are within striking range. Can they get that victory royale with the high eliminations that Sundown was talking about to build a lead? Can someone else like Crew, Chapix, and Beehive come from nothing to suddenly be in the top 5? We'll have to see how things shake out, but the bus is coming out from Gus, heading on over to Snobby Shores, almost cutting down mid-center, so that's like pretty good, right? This is going to give you a lot more time to kind of get to where you're going. Everyone has about the equal flight time, unless you're going straight down to Gotham.
And just right away, retail row, completely empty. That's the green triangles there, a little bit center to the right. And I mean, they have a full split over it. They know they're empty. But Moisty Palms, 2 teams directly on top of each other. Pleasant Park, 2 teams on top of each other. We're hopping on board here with Beehive. He just was able to clutch out the last match, and you're able to see a big split drop coming from them. So we kind of did a piece on split dropping and talking about it, setting yourself up for success in the early game and how to go about it. The big reason for doing this is because it allows you to be safe. You're allowed to hit outer edges of the map and then group back up with your team and not split loot. So you're able to cover as much ground as possible. And then you also get, we talked about the conversation of rotational lanes that Shio mentioned yesterday. We have a lane going straight into the map. You have more kind of the pie wedge of that circle that you own because you've spread it out, you've scouted it. Hey, you know it's safe. If you move centrally, you're clear on both sides.
Yeah, and I mean, they're still pretty close, right? They could have gone even to somewhere like Lucky Landing, right? They could have gone that far out. We've even seen teams go as far as that old Yonder. But I like that they are still staying relatively in close proximity, those words, back to back. This is going to give them more time to loot, like you're saying. And then if something goes terribly wrong, they are there to support each other, right? Because if you did have this extremely long and wide drop, like if your teammate goes down, it's over. Can't do much about it.
Well, the one thing particularly with Season X, because of the lack of innate mobility, a lot of teams aren't willing to burn shockwaves or jump pads early on because of how valuable they are late game. So if they do get a knock and they're unable to convert, you do have some time to get over there. But I mean, they'd already scouted the drop. They knew they were clean, so they can spread out realistically as far as they want until they see contact. But right now on board with the RBK and Executioner 1 trio, Zaipan, Left Eye, and Red Rush. Okay, loot, sort of. Like, I will take an epic tack early on if you can close the gap. But right now, it looks like they're kind of stuck in no man's land between 2 different squads.
Now, the thing to look out for here is someone going to try and utilize the props, right? Don't forget, in Moisty Palms, you can crouch and become a prop. Listen.
You can't, you literally, you can't in the early game because it's time you spend not farming. So then if somebody does roll up at you, like, yes, if you can get a very quick, like, kind of jump on somebody, so maybe right here, if Flexi was deciding to go, but he would have to know Red Rush is there, and now because he's out in the open, there's no chance. So the engagement's going to be on, and Red Rush is looking to close the gap because he has that epic tack shotgun. He wants to get directly on top of him, knows the player can't disengage, can't hide. He's going to try and burn him through mats and just keep closing the distance. Now, he's going to box up. Disco comes through. Didn't look like it hit. Edit comes in, both in the box. Will they be able to convert? Flexi goes down. Zap Trap on the top. Not quite going to find it. Little misplay right there with the crouch getting caught, but was able to then get back into it. Has the 2 players pinched into a corner, and now he's just waiting for his teammates to come over. So Red Rush was effectively able to do it by themselves, but now the pressure is on. Demento's trying to do what he can to alleviate it.
And it looks like this other third trio is looking to come in. Watch the minimap as well. There's another trio trying to close in because they hear all the shots. They want to third party this as much as possible.
It's a 3v1. Demento's got knocked, able to push in. That's the conversion onto Flexi, who is there. Will they be able to find the other one? That's a 95 tag. does push in and get a knock, but needs to get a revive right away because, as you said, keep an eye on the mini-map. If you take too long to clean up a fight, Tokar and Krej were on the wrong side of this trade the first 2 times. They want revenge. They know left eye is knocked. They heard all of it going on. They just scooped up the extra materials as well. Red Rush needs to make a play. Zypan just got absolutely destroyed. Grenades are coming in as well. The pressure is all on the Executioner 1 player right now as he's desperately trying to box himself up and find a way to make a play. We talk about that epic tag shotgun. Can he make it go to work? Make this advantage worth something? 93 tag player on the backside. 24 does get hit again. Working his way pretty well through here, but does crouch, unfortunately, trying to find a way to get a little bit of respite. Zypan does go down, but finds Chug Splashes. Needs to just get a second to disengage. Zypan is out, and he finally goes down. Revenge from Image, Tokar, and Krej.
That was absolutely chaotic. So much happened and so much unfolded there. And in the end, Image and his trio were able to clean up, and now Moisty Palms is theirs. They did spend a lot of time in that engagement, but it's okay. Check the safe zone. They're right next to it. Benji is down, though. Check this out. A Brute is trying to contest them right now in retail.
I think a Brute is contesting them right now in retail, just opting to grab it and go, and Mitro and Mongo disengaged. So the one time we saw them forced out in a way yesterday was when Mitro ended up getting picked over on the blacktops when he was separated, and he got taken down very quickly. They had it uncontested, so what I'm assuming happened is a near team was able to draw the RNG god of the Brute coming down on top of them and then able to rotate over and catch them with them thinking they were safe. That is the one time when they're kind of off guard, when they're not 100% going through. And then with the added bonus of the Brute, we talked about it kind of having a certain definitive number of weaknesses, one of which being like spotted out in the open and gun it down. But if you're able to third party a fight or third party somebody on one of those Cube Fiend spawners, it kind of alleviates that. If they close the gap and they get on top of you and you haven't gotten to get all of that loot right away, they're going to get taken out. So the Brute putting a wrench into MMB's plans. What will they be able to do?
Yeah, and I mean, they had to bail the entire situation, right? Like, there is still a trio in retail that Brute is going to be engaging, but they had to leave the card behind. So that's it. They cannot get Benji, and now they have to kind of reassess. Thankfully, no one came here, and it's good that this happens because this gives them a little more time to, like, readjust and come up with a new plan of attack, right? Like, there's no way they're going back to try and get the card. It's just not going to happen. So now they have to go in as two.
It's expired by this time. Yeah,
there's nothing.
Through.
It's over, you know?
Yep. And you can see still, again, trying to rotate away from the Brute herd. Kind of, sort of. You keep seeing Mitro trying to look for maybe a cheeky snipe onto someone. Kenzel picking up Nate there, but it's really just unfortunate because that's one of the things where your game plan ends up being thrown off by that and you're just not able to come through and pick that up. And it's the one thing that we said could end up being a limiting factor for them. The question is, how strong is their mental game? As we now hop on board with Chapek's crew and Beehive, you see that chili pepper effect hanging out on him right now. That means he has a little bit of additional speed, and of course, as I explained it, it wears off, but some more Brute gameplay coming through. Shots coming on for Chapek's, getting some tags in there. As you can see, both teams not really wanting to let that continue to run around, trying to limit the impact it has on the game as no word goes down to Aim Sons in the feed.
I like that Chapek's is being fearless, right? Like, he's just completely out in the open, sending shots out because he's so confident in his play. Right now, it looks like they're going to potentially look to contest now. Watch the minimap. You've already got the trio that was in the Brute. They're fighting another trio they were trying to just engage with. These guys should absolutely look to third party. Watch the left Beehive crew. They're already sending shots out. The builds are pretty dense right now, so you can't get anything in, but at least you can cause chaos, right? You can try to get them off and set them a little on edge. Daedra's there, Exo, Nyx, Frey, Deuce 1X as well. Man, what is my brain doing today? I don't know. But now they're going to look to close the gap. They have 9 grenades, Sundown. They just need to start sending these in.
Nope. Hold your grenades.
You think?
100%. Like, so you could just send them in towards that double fine, but like everyone has seen the clips going on of the Solari nades. Find somebody who's boxed up in wood and just wait. And as I say that, Chapek is like, no, I see 6 people. We'll just go now. He says, your analysis doesn't matter. You are irrelevant. I will just send the nades. When in doubt, as Golden Boy says, throw a grenade. Gamer's Origin goes down. Nyx goes down. They both get picked up. That's 2 elims going over for Chapek as they get pushed up for 27 with the simplicity of holding L1 and having some frags and getting in on the third party. But great shots now to take advantage of it. Trying to find the player Shockwave up. Not connecting once with the infantry rifle. Crew, however, will pick up Frey, and that's important because Frey was the other trio who he contested, which means it's a solo and now one other player who is there. So they effectively have a 3v2 if they're able to drop down. However, Mongrel in the Elam feed also picking up X8, so they're getting in on that action. You can see Dues 1X trying to disengage the other player going up. So changing this into a 3v2 was so critical rather than facing a 3v3 and snagging away. Chapix does get blocked off there, has a slurp ticking. Shockwave going up for the high ground, not finding anything right now, but the spray is coming on, so he's going to be forced back.
And Chapix wanted this. The moment they started to crank those 90s, he said, let's go to the sky, baby. I would like to take this engagement. It is a 3v2 right now. Deuce is holding that high ground, but look at the way Crew, Chapix, and Beehive, they're just maintaining the same tarp, trying to just isolate one of them. The Shockwave is going to put the enemy back together up on the high ground tarp, but they're just going to bring it down. They want to try and force them to fight their game. Almost had the peak shot on the shotgun there if the player had dropped down. It's okay, though. They're still going for the climb. Deuce goes down with a 97 to the back of the head, and now they're trying to isolate the player. That's 152. This guy is on white numbers right now. He has effectively no HP to work with, and there you go. Raze gets cleaned up, and that is another set of eliminations going over to the trio.
So now it's 36 to 30 in terms on the leaderboard. You saw that MMB was able to pick up an Elam and get the conversion over there, but that is now 5 for Crew, Beehive, and Chapix, showing that they are back. I mean, I want to talk about this team in particular. Beehive was notorious coming out from Europe in terms of being like one of the most consistent ones. As we see a replay now of Mitro looking for a heavy snipe going through and just gets beamed. Unfortunate there to get knocked and then not able to get the coverage. You hear the sniper, you can see the other bullets coming through, and that's one of the few ways where if a sniper rifle comes through and knocks you, you can't really be hanging out in the open like that at 100 HP because a body shot from even that bolt will take you down, and I think that's what that was. Wasn't the kick of a heavy, and you know, sometimes the one bullet and you're out when you're the best trio in the world to go down like that and then a brute forcing you there, that's gonna hurt. And the question is, how are you able to now recover from that? What does their mental game look like, and who is going to be able to challenge and take advantage of this, if anybody, right? Is Mongrel going to be able to do this? Oh, he didn't even get the conversion on the Elam. Oh, that's massive as well. Every single point in this case matters. So right now, it's at minimum a 5-point spread between them, and going with the third game going on, and Mongrel getting the Solari nade in towards him. Luckily, was in the metal box, as we've talked about before, so was protected from that. Trying to double back over now and just find a safe spot, find any room to just relax, maybe get a pick, as Thomas picks off Patrick there.
Right now, the best thing he can do is just try and play for placement. He's halfway there. There is 24 teams. Can he get the cheeky shot? Unfortunately, it goes wide, barely giving that person a haircut. And I mean, he's just going full offense right now. It doesn't even look like he's trying to play for placement. He sees, man, okay, well, you know, X8, he finds the elimination. He gets the snipe out, and that is the power trio at the top. They are shut down, so they cannot rack up any more points in this game. Super brutal. No eliminations, no placement. Now they have to go back to the lobby and think about how they can hopefully fix this in the next game.
Yeah, that's honestly, that's just straight tilt from the Brute. That's what that is. That's a straight tilt into undisciplined play from them, which is their one potential downfall. We've talked about how absolutely good they are, but when they do something that is great, if it snowballs into something more, then somebody else has a chance to catch them. We've seen it before. Then maybe somebody else has a chance for the top. Maybe if somebody can take advantage of it, as we hop on board now with another top 5 team. We saw Falcony have a great play in match 1 to push up towards the top 2, the Vic being another longtime competitive veteran, and Robob's doing incredibly well during the online open qualifiers for the World Cup, seeing his name over and over again. The French trio trying to just rotate around the safe side of the zone, as X8 picked up another knock onto Amplify. So X8's making really good use of the heavy sniper and its enabling factor right there.
Especially in his good old Area 51 skin, you know? Got to make sure you full tilt at people at all times. That's the way you pick up eliminations. Yeah, that's confirmed.
Fun fact: Zeke and I quite literally ran into each other. So when you're doing that run, you don't realize that you've locked your shoulders behind you. So if you round a corner relatively quickly, well, let's just say Out of the few brain cells we had remaining, there's a couple less left.
That's why my brain is so frazzled.
But as you can see now, they're rotating over towards the rift, trying to get the safe zone and actually opting not to hit it and just sliding around the backside. There were rifts available up there, but not taking to the skies and giving somebody the opportunity to maybe tag them a couple times with an infantry rifle. Just going to take the safe rotation onto the north side of the zone and guarantee their safety.
And right now, man, we need half the lobby to go down. Jesse's picked up there in the top left of your elimination feed. This current safe zone is going to be wrapped around Loot Lake. Balcony saw eyes on a player. Well, I'm assuming he wants to try and get this cheeky pick if possible. If they're going to stand still for a moment in Gargoyle. Watch the elimination feed, though. More players are falling. Look how compact right now and dense this circle is. Everyone is just wrapped around Loot Lake, especially it looks like some are even in the outer edge of the zero or the low gravity zone.
I mean, we haven't even seen Storm Surge yet today, though, right? So we talk about dense. I mean, there were lobbies yesterday where there was like 96 people going into the second circle where one trio had dropped. Today is a veritable bloodbath compared to that when the early goings on. And some great shots coming out there from Falcony, able to pick that one up. And you saw him tag right away. He's like, hey, launch pad, going, bye, see ya, I'll be back later. I'll get shockwaves if needed, but gets a good rotation. Oh my God.
The loot is so good. The loot transfer is come through.
I'm trying to think who he just knocked right there, because I think that was whoever was able, I don't know, but I think that was whoever caught the end of the retail rotation, because he just picked up so much ammunition, so many launch pads, dropping the stinks over towards Illocrats and Thomas right now, but the bubble shield doing its due diligence, saying, get off of me, this is our safe space. Pepper, Camo, and Harmy on the other side. Magnus as well posted up. You got Aqua, Stompy, and Shinken over there. Rojo, Item, and Mr. Savage as well. So basically split down the middle. Nobody wanting to put themselves into that low grab zone quite yet because it limits your options. And again, with Circle 4 closing in, you don't want to go centrally as well because despite the low, with the low grab zone and the rift potentially throwing you out, you additionally want to be towards the 50-50. So central is good if you want a consistent rotation, but as we talk about that, Stompy is going full send in the zone. Puts himself in. He's in the box. What's in the box? It's a Stompy. Dacarino goes down, has the other side. Immediately is going to use the Chug Splash for the white HP and then double up. Aqua gets the conversion over to push Stompy up to 55 HP, looking to try and find the other teammates and just holding a tight right-hand angle. Shinken is being pressured down, forced away by the stink from his opponent and trying to navigate the low grab zone. And as I say that, Storm Surge kicks on for the first time. If you're unfamiliar with Storm Surge, if you're above a certain number of players in the lobby, based off of Storm Circle, the current number would be 50 for Storm Circles 4 and 5. Then the players with the least amount of damage dealt to opponents will receive 25 damage every 10 seconds until either we drop below 50 players or they're eliminated.
That's right, man. And I mean, they're just like you said, this is basically not a bloodbath, but a slurp bath. This is Fortnite. Sundown, get it together. All right.
I said veritable, which is a comparison, but yes,
right,
I agree.
Sure. Slurp bath just sounds funnier. Anyway, back on board with the guys.
One word for it, that's for sure. Let's just never say slurp bath again.
Anyway, Crew, Chapix, Beehive, we are back on board. So don't forget, MMB are at the top right now with 35 points. That is the number you have to beat. So look at that little icon on your left. It says 30. Beehive, Crew, and Chapix, they are contesting. Don't forget, they came up from 25 points, 5 higher. So they're looking to contest after this game.
And again, this is match 3. We haven't hit placement points yet. That first threshold is an additional 3 points, which is effectively eliminating another trio from the game. There's 15 available points there, and this is where you're really going to see who can make a move. That half-in, half-out zone is pulling into the northeast side of the circle, and there is only currently 3 trios there, with most of the trios having to rotate through the low grab zone, which means if you jump, you become a very easy way to focus. They're trying to set up a double snipe. Heavy snipe into the bolt, looking for a headshot so they can get the conversion. The heavy snipe is leading, and Crew is on the bolt afterward, trying to mark and find a target. They don't have outlines, remember. We know where they are. They do not. They're just looking for any movement behind, and now they're going to look to set up a shockwave. You can see him trying to line it up, make sure everyone is there. You jump on top of the edit. You're sure you're in a straight line, and then please jump at the same time. Don't get split.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
Pretty good, and not that far apart. Can reconnect via build. There is a shield bubble gone defensively. Look at this. Chapix gets cracked and full eliminated right now. They're trying to crack back if possible, but there's so much action, and it looks like Crew and Beehive were able to reconnect, but absolutely brutal that Chapix gets picked off. He must have just tried to build up on a team, and they were ready to respond.
He ended up directly just inside the box of Fledermois. It's kind of what we saw happen to Mongrel last game on the other side of that, where you end up in the same box, but they were on the beneficiary of that, so a little bit of revenge coming over their courtesy. But with that being said, Crew and Beehive still good. We talk about the Shockwave was pretty good, but not perfect. All three didn't end up together. One player separated. You will lose it out there. But now they get pinched on the backside, and because of the pre-edited archway, you aren't able to quickly get covered there. Your first instinct is to build, not to reset the wall. So Crew tries to disengage, has one Shockwave forced out of the water, 12 HP now. But he gets an immediate knock on the Matzo on the backside of the storm. He needs to get the conversion. If he can't convert, he will be ticked over. He is in the safe zone though. He's desperately trying to hold and find space. He's pinned against the rock though, between a rock, a hard place, and a full trio. Crew with 12 HP calms down, pops his minis, gets back up to effective HP, and he's looking to get the conversion, finds one shot. That's white tags onto him, wants to try and steal the wall, doesn't get it on the first one, gets it on the second with the ramp place. He just wants the conversion first. Matzo goes down, he gets the launch pad, has a shockwave, and now back over 100 effective HP. More shockwaves, more launch pads. He's gonna double back, 22, 21, 12, 2 effective HP, but he's above the storm surge. Everyone else in the lobby is on the far side as we begin looping back over Loot Lake. Crew needs to find a place to set his feet and find a pick. Opts to drop the pump shotgun in the close quarters for the epic tech. Not looking for the one tag, so this is not the blue. Wants the follow-up option. Bella EU does tick down, and the random stink grenade catches him. Dollar Seed picks it up and is able to find it. Mr. Savage now turns his eyes skyward as we still have 17 trios remaining. 5 need to drop. Stinking gets the conversion onto Skylar Savage, does drop Starly with that rocket, and he's looking for the play in the box. Will he be able to find it? He does not quite get it there. Instead, opts to Shockwave up and out as the conversion does come through. So good job from him getting back up there. Bella EU does end up getting converted over as Thomas picks up Clement as well. Bubble Shield goes down. They're going to opt the Shockwave on the far side, but Savage gets sent out, and it's towards the Loot Lake area. But instead, he pauses, takes some AR shots, knowing if he had got the conversion, it would have been worth. This player is sprinting straight into him. He owns that wall as well, trying to get the ramp in the box as we close in on top 12. Caxi picks up Rojo, so Mr. Savage is now a solo dolo. Shinken gets camo and converts, but Caxi gets the favor returned on him. He says, you get my teammate, I take your placement points. None for you there. That is the full knock going on from that squad, so no more points as we close on in. One more trio needs to drop, and now we're back out of that low grav zone, and Savage is just trying to play the corner, finds the first shot, but not the second. Bad sniper makes him pay, and he takes the placement points too. 4-point swing going on there, but up onto the high ground, we have Shinken, Aqua, and Stompy.
Right now, looks like the world champion, Shinken, the little tiny pancake, and Stompy are pretty separated, but it's okay. They've got the control. They've got a shockwave as well. Not much in the way of ammo, but they just need to make some picks, and that will all change. I hope at least Cooler Aqua has some kind of exposure utility. Someone goes for the contest, and Kong gets dropped.
Wait, I thought Caxi got insta-knocked. Tohaj is still up. Tohaj just got into top 8 by knocking out Kinzo. Shinken was able to pick up Kong, so right now Tohaj is hanging out somewhat.
Oh, that was him.
We got him right away. As I said, Caster Curse dropped outside of that next placement threshold. But right now, 6 elims from the E11 in Cooler Trio. Does get knocked all the way down to the ground, but looking to find more. We talk about Teamfire discipline from the high ground Zeke, and they're showing it right now, dropping another top 5 team in a great pump swap there.
Aqua right now, he's just trying to hold this down, lock it up from above. He's trying to send shots down while Chinken is getting a little bit closer. Stompy is there in full force, so he's saying, I will go head-to-head. A nice turn and flick. Lucky gets shredded in the sky. And now look at this. It is a 3v1. This is it. This is the last play. They just have to go for the ISO. A jumping shot and 100 to the dome will secure their victory royale up to 28 points. They are looking to contest. And there you go, baby. Full tilt away from all the action. Cool guys, don't look at explosions. Speaking of cool guys, let's send it inside to Dr. Lupo and Shy Wager.
Zeke, from time to time, you say some questionable things, but I still appreciate you. Honestly, on social media, we saw a little bit of the Stompy, Shinken, Aqua, why so quiet, and lo and behold, Shy, here we are, Victory Royale.
I'm happy, I'm smiling. The big thing in this 6-game format is that you can create room for yourself, you can be at the bottom, but then you still have chances to rise to the top. Let's see who's at the top now and how everything looks with the standings of Europe at the moment. So far, we've got Okay, an entire new team. Okay, the Vic, Robabs, and Falcon Lee are now at the top. Benji, Mitro, and Mongrel did have some rough time in the early game, now dropping to second. They still have the most elims tied for, actually, in the whole region, 17. Lupo, what do you make of this board?
Honestly, what stands out to me is the fact that right here in third place, Crew, Beehive, Chapix, that shockwave at the end to clutch that win was so good. Solid enough play, puts them up here into third. I love seeing them climb up the board like this, but I mean, at this point, it's still anybody's game. We still have a ton of matches left. We're only halfway through, Shy.
Yeah, one big thing to point out, Chicken, Stoppy, Aqua, I believe just had 2 points. Now at 28, and have a Vic Roy as well. So for tiebreakers, that is huge towards the end of this game. We're just halfway, as you said, right? So anything can happen at the moment. We'll see at the second page, hopefully we'll see if anyone else is up for contention right now. Looks like the top 10 have a 10 to 12 point difference. 10 points as well off of 20th, right? From a 2 to 28. Being at 10, that's a big jump up as well. You want to be on a bigger stump a little bit. So once again, the experience you make from your games, speaking of experience as well, the experience you have from World Cup, right? Knowing how it means to lose, how to be behind, because Aqua had kind of a different relationship with winning, right? Duos did very well, solos kind of near the bottom. So he knows the actual, experience of that 100%. Whole breakdown. We'll see a package now from that game breaking down the Vic Roy, a bunch of other things as well that happened during it, early and mid. Let's jump right in. Here we go with the replay. So right now we got Chinkin, the star trio of that game, up on top on high ground. This is where they operate. 14 points currently, so they have a lot to get. The pumps coming through. Sometimes the natural thing on height to do is pump and build. Over here, though, we see no builds available. So the adaptation to have your movement in check and then make sure that is your falling grace just in case you're in a bad spot is what Chinkin had. That's what got him that repeat pump afterwards as well. Still has contingency with that shockwave to Lupo. No heals available at this time. What is he focusing on here when he's dropping down?
Right there, that last big hit, he's basically tracking the target, making sure that he stays on top. Any chance of a player to edit their way out, you want to stay full coverage. It's basically zone defense at that point. If they're going to go out left side, maybe double back through the storm, anything's kind of possible. So you want to make sure you're watching basically all angles. Yep. So that Victory Royale there, Stompy, Shinkin, Aqua. It's crazy how on top of their game they were all the way to the end there. It's funny, we even saw, because like we mentioned, MMB got messed with a little bit early game. There was a mech situation in retail row, and they were punished over the course of that match. So multiple players, multiple teams, people are listening on streams. It's funny, you hear the comms saying, all right, well, they're not in here, so we have a chance to take high ground this time.
Absolutely. We can see actually what happened to them in the game as well. We have another package lined up for the early mid-game type of fights and those mid-ground inclusions near the end of the game. So right now, Kong TV, early game Brute. We have him in retail, one spot where the Brute is one of the best because you have defense from the cube monsters. He gets a big knock in Elim on the star trio. Chapix rolling in. We saw that 9 nade Sundown having the conversation with, are we going to use that for the solar nades? Are we just going to use it to see if there's a trio there? They pick the ladder. They get amazing shots in. Mitro kind of caught out. This is the issue with mid-game rotating. If you're coming from such a big POI spot where everyone has different timings, you gotta get split up on your walk. A snipe comes through, no shield, unfortunate. Crew now jumping straight back in. Not only can the man use nades in his trio and respond to them, he can box fight too. Tack shotguns in there, always following up. Expect an edit from your enemies and get it done. This is very interesting. Mongrel gets a snipe down on X8, and then way later into the game, or just shortly after X8 gets picked up, he can come back and actually respond with it. We'll jump back to that clip real quick. Chapix right now is in the game as well. We saw him get those awesome nades off earlier, but he can also build fight near the end. Once again, Chinkin, he tried doing it as well late game, didn't have the builds up. This is the snipe I was talking about. X8 tracking Mongrel, not the easiest snipe in the world, but boom. That's how he gets taken out. Revenge from getting knocked back up. Insane storylines that can affect even the end game of the entire server because Mongrel plays it so differently compared to Stompy, Chinkin, and Aqua. Stompy on your screen now, no more utility left, so we'll jump over to Chinkin, who does have that shock. How he kind of moves around when he has utility, you can kind of expect to use it, you can kind of set things up, but you can just go to a different page in your playbook immediately when you have so many options on height and break down everyone else in the server with your bullets. Especially landing in on height and trying to do that on mid-ground, you don't have many aerial builds around you. You have to land first before you can place walls. You pick the wrong option, you got knocked down. Aqua, this is him with the infantry rifle now. Just because it doesn't have that much pressure on builds repeatedly over and over again, doesn't mean it can't do damage, doesn't mean you can't be dynamic either. A big pump once again on X8, right? We see the food chain going all the way to the top. You got Mongrel to X8 to Chinkin, passing the torch all the way to see who can actually win. Then once again, we see that play breakdown. Big pumps is kind of the theme of this meta at the moment. You have that one close range weapon, you have the utility, then you have that AR to apply pressure to open up to use those pumps and utility. Lupo, this is once again amazing. You've casted a little bit of Brazil as well on the back burner of yesterday's games. Very cool drop downs, very cool aggressive play. It's very similar.
And honestly, watching this kind of situation, you are seeing players delegate positions and roles. Here, Aqua, the ultimate high ground, looking down from above and applying pressure to the builds as Shinken and Stompy are making moves down on the low ground. That delegation, taking ownership of it, but still being aware enough, Aqua, the flicks up top and hitting, like you said, the theme, the meta right now is big pumps, 100%. When you hit those shots, you land them, you know you have almost guaranteed a knock if it's over 100 damage. You have players follow through, especially with a full trio up. Right here, taking ownership of what's left of the circle, still maintaining elevation, little drop in, the follow through on Tokar. Nebby here trying to push his way out. You got players basically stacked up on top of each other. Even if you don't have that ultimate high ground, even if everyone is sitting on top of each other, the awareness to make sure you're looking around, watching all your angles is so key, and these players do it every single time without fail.
Yep, and the contingency plan is always to just make sure you have that close range fight at the end. You're always online. Even in mid-game box fights, the end game is a huge box fight, right? So you want those close range weapons. You want to be able to confirm all the pressure you've got on with the game so far and your lair when you're moving around in your tarp. It's just amazing play, dropping down from height or trying to secure your placement near the end of the game. Europe is at top and at peak right now in performance.
I'm going to say it. Some of these European players are psychos, man. There's how aggressive and over the top they are. Speaking of which, I want to see more aggression, more over the top pushes, and some crazy snipes. And to do so, I'm going to throw it back over to Zeke and Sundown to get back into the games. Don't worry, no slowdown here.
You know, when you said psychos, and speaking of psychos, I thought you were going to say, let's send it over to that psycho Zeke. And I was going to be kind of offended, but like kind of also like, that's a nice compliment, you know?
Not everything is about you.
Okay, that's not...
Actually, I thought you were going to go
right.
with, it was a reference to the fact that Mongrel has been rocking the Psycho skin recently.
Okay.
And people have been like...
You were just one step ahead of me. I'm sorry.
But it's all good. As you can see,
I
the
did my
bus
best.
path is going from southeast to northwest, slightly northernly clipped, so decent... drops for anybody who's on the north side. Anybody who's going to Frosty or Hamlet has a bit of a glide to go, and it looks like, again, retail in that right-hand side just a little bit with the light blue, I believe. Sorry, I'm colorblind. They are uncontested, and as long as a brute doesn't come through and rain on their parade, we should be seeing them leave slightly more efficiently.
And even look at Moisty Palms, a hot spot there. You got teams going up to Sunny. Looks like some places are going to be a little bit contested, but for the most part, a lot of these trios largely uncontested. We see the world champion Aqua, Stompy, and Tashinkin, the little pancake. He gets the scope there. He's trying to line up the shots. The 26, 326. He drops the player before they can set his little toesies on the map.
Another one?
Can he get a second? No damage numbers. They will touch down, but
That's
they are
so
not
scary,
in a good
That's
spot.
so scary.
One shot. The patience.
Oh, no, he's fine. He got builds. He's good.
This is a world champion we're talking about. Can he get follow-up? Nothing else.
The players should be able to exit out the back, but the reason why this is scary, despite there being 11 bullets, 2 is the minimum if you can get 2 headshots, right? But 3 or 4 will be able to get the tags out, and then Stompy now has an angle, and this is what happens when you're against 3 rifles right away, but some shields were ticked over there, so they see the blue tags, they're like, all right, we don't know what he's got, we're just gonna kind of try and keep him pinned, keep the angles on it, and eventually close this out. Stink going down that, and Scalar gets picked up. That's 2 for 2, so 2 knocks being down, but haven't quite gotten the conversion just yet onto the next one. He's gonna be able to pick that up, pushing them up to 30 points, and I mean 26 in the last one. They're right up there now, Zeke.
I mean, man, I'm just so impressed with Aqua using those rifling skills, showing us all why he is a world champion. Now Stompy gonna go over, pick up some of the loot. There wasn't much there. The other thing he's gonna have is that drift board if he wants to take it with him. That's gonna be a nice form of rotation a little later on. But check the minimap. These guys are by themselves. Look at this spread they have. A lot of loot that they can kind of get out of Frosty, and then if they want to rotate out, they could.
And they're looking to try and track down that last purple triangle you see in the bottom right of the top left screen. But flipping over to the other side, we see MMB uncontested in retail. Back to the game 1 and 2 strategy. So they should be a little cleaner there and are rocking the Psycho skins with the butterfly wings. What a great combo. It just looks so clean. And you can see already loading up extra big pot in there, extra 2 shockwaves. That obelisk is about to go down. I mean, they're just rotating through.
Yeah, man, they're gonna get to spend a lot of time farming up materials, farming these pylons for potential gold weapons and utility items. On the minimap, though, you can actually see there's a trio just there to their left, Kiriachi, and look, an incoming brute. This happened before they know it's coming. Look, immediately Benji saw it.
But they caught it this time.
Yep. See, they're prepared.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like it is on the minimap if people are like adjusting and using it, but at the same time, like they're very actively aware. They're saying no, not again. We talked about the 2 very defining factors of the 2 limiting weaknesses of the brutes and how it can kind of get around them in certain circumstances. They're making sure right away. But now, look on the backside, look in the minimap. There's a player coming up behind him, and that's what happens. They put a flank on him. The brute was drawing all the attention, and then Benji gets picked out. It's Kirek, Kong, and Fremont. This was the team who challenged them last time, just going for broke, trying to throw the top team off, and the brute is now coming in again. Benji gets converted on Mitro and Mongo. Are they just going to opt to disengage and get out of dodge? Some pressure is going over on the Kyrie, and that is unfortunate, not being able to handle it. We talked about it. Sometimes the wrench is the plan, and it looks like they're seeking that out to just bring it over there. 2 games in a row where brutes are spawning on the north of that, and they're just able to put it to vicious work.
I mean, they had eyes on it, right? They were very quickly to identify there is a brute inbound. We need to shut this thing down.
But it was a ruse.
It was a ruse, right? Like, that's so cool that they used this to draw all the aggro, and then they got the flank, and that's what gave them the edge. But this is still the other 2 of the most powerful trios. Mitro gets dropped there.
That's it.
And that's it. They're full. Well. Yep. Mongo went down just before. So
I think Mongo might have got pinned by Cube Fiends.
You think so?
I didn't see the tag that went down. I didn't see Fremont and Kira get an Elim point, and yeah, I think he got pinned in the corner by some Cube Fiends. I'm not positive, but I mean, just that is awful. That is just so unfortunate for their game plan and being able to go in. It just the ability to flank and pick out Benji. That was the one thing Monster and I kind of had a discussion about. Like, how do you go about contesting them early? You try and isolate somebody on that drop. I thought people would be doing it immediately off the rip, trying to hawk them like from, and quite literally doing what most people call like griefing off spawn, but trying to get an advantage going on there. Instead, what they're doing is they're taking their usual drop in the 2 games they've gotten a brute. They take it in, the advantage that gives you, they brought it over. This time they're trying to be aware and instead use it to try and flank around and now closing in on that other player. We're gonna hop on board now to our current leaders, Falconate, the Vic, and Robabs. Driftboards over by Haunted Hills, setting up the position. We'll have not too far to go as the zone is actually right on the edge of them, so they're sitting pretty.
Yeah, they're sitting on the little mountain there, just over Haunted, so they don't have to do much. The old castle has slowly been decaying there. And you see on the minimap, we've got another trio.
Oh, like you joined. Let's play some trios.
Yo.
Lagu, like you. Oh, you bought Batman? Hello, Batman.
How did you know?
Hey, Batman. Why are you so fat, huh?
Wait, who got Batman?
Who
got Batman?
Gordon
I'm
Ramsay.
Batman, bro. I'm Batman. Alright, guys, no cussies. You know the rules.
We still buy skins in this game, am I right?
I don't know, your mom?
I'm thinking about getting the Catwoman skin.
Next one, mate. Next one.
Alright. We play arena, but you guys know the drill. No cussies.
No carrying Jordan. If Jordan dies and gets rebooted 12 times.
I've actually been doing this. Actually though, I'm STREAM-ing.
It's the correction.
It's called streaming, my guy. Alright, no cussies.
Ah! Oh, just defuse this bomb. Oh my god, that bomb.
It's stuff to pick a band, but only 5 hours for me, which I'm turning in the van.
Oh, let's get them. Let's be the annoying ones.
Bro, I love being the annoying ones.
Oh, I have an idea. If someone tries to reboot, heck no. Motherfucker, don't you dare try to reboot.
Man, I don't even like DC, but I like the skin.
Oh, sweet. I found, what is it called? Your mom?
Oh.
How to
We
text
got some
you.
people with the boat.
Ah! Come here, boy! Ah, come here!
Should I buy the Catwoman skin?
Come here, boy! Come here!
Start to run.
Run, run! That's why I said run. Shield. He has no shield. You could try to come and res me, Max.
Bruh, Epic unfriended us again.
No. Oh, you and Maxie? Maxie's so weak. Okay, good.
Tell him to accept it so that we can hear each other.
Okay.
Whoa, sugar.
Ooh. 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 Ooh.
Tell him to accept it so that my friend request so that we can hear each other.
Max, that would be nice if I could have that, but I'm 30. Well, I have a med kit anyway, so it's fine.
We good. Alright, arena trios, you guys know the drill.
Yeah, let's just leave.
Just leave, bro.
Max is... No, pick him up! Me. That's my dagger, boy!
Bat signal.
Max is stolen. I know you stole them from me. How dare you?
Deceit. Within my eyes, we go above.
I'm playing with them, right?
Keep so long.
I don't know.
Just leave.
Max, do you want me to come over to your house, or do you want me to come? Or do you want to come to our house? I don't want to watch stuff. You are getting a new Xbox? Alright.
Wait, are we gonna play arena or no?
Oh, whoa. There's bad man. Yeah. No, it's fine. I'll just grapple her to you. Over there. I'm scared. Yeah, got it. Max, here, take all my mats in my RPG. I'm gonna leave the match. Take all my stuff, Max. Max, I'm leaving the match. Here, take all my...
Why are you leaving the match?
He could get the RPG. And then he could grapple her out of there.
Wait, so you guys like killing yourself? Wait, we're gonna play arena, right? Right?
I've been doing it.
Every night? Night, right?
Bro, should I buy the Catwoman skin?
No, gift it to me. Come on.
Tell Max
Don't
to
be
accept my friend request.
Maxie, accept his friend request.
I'm doing it every night.
I know. It's separating you guys.
Hello?
Sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
We're playing
We're
arena.
sorry, my guy. We got stuff to do.
Hello.
Batman got to play arena.
Okay, we're gonna kick you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Dude,
I think you... Bro, I'm using... Should I use this one or the Dark Knight?
Not too many though.
No, that one's cool. Yes. Oh, no, do the other one. The other one looks better. Looks like a lot better. Hey, do you gift me don't be Steph, stop! Steph, stop! Now we're on PC servers. Thanks a lot. Yes, we are. Look.
Then leave.
I was kidding. No, Jordan's a PC player. Jordan, gift me Catwoman.
Catwoman,
No.
bro. I'm not one by myself.
Oh yeah, the Area 51.
You're
Wait,
so
wait, go.
selfish,
Go over here.
Jordan.
Click
You're
it.
so
Bro,
selfish.
yeah, I gifted you some stuff, you know?
Gordon,
What
we're
you gift
using-
me, huh?
Gordon, we're using your creator code. You should be more thankful.
Yeah.
Steph said that, I know, Chris said that you weren't, though.
We were just kidding. Holy
Yeah.
shoot. I bought so many things with the
Christopher, I need to
creator
get the
code.
Batman.
I need to check how
On the
much
shop.
money I've earned from that.
Get the Batman skin. It's not in the shop.
I don't know.
Alright, if we
Wait,
can
I-
get this...
Gordon, Batman skin's not in the shop.
It used to be.
No, wait,
Wait, Gordon,
the Batman skin's a pack.
the shop.
You have to pay,
Oh, Steph, the
You have to
Batman
pay real
skin's a
money.
pack.
you have to pay
In the
real
store?
money.
What does it cost
Yeah,
after?
it's in the store.
How much does it cost?
$20.
$20.
Oh my.
Oh,
Homies in
And you
it.
get
Chris.
a pickaxe, a glider, and both skins.
Chicken,
Why would you spend 20 bucks on a useless skin?
No, because he gets
yeah, dude. I
Lighter.
wouldn't get it. I mean, dude, would you get the skin that the pack I got, the dark?
Where you guys want to land? Lucky.
I was thinking
Wait,
about getting that.
ask Steph if he likes the dark matter skin
Steph,
thing.
do you like the dark matter skin?
Kind of, not really.
Like
Guys,
skin
where
pack?
should we land? It's arena, remember. Land somewhere
in the-
passive. Okay, yeah, Viking.
Actually, Snobby, we'll get more loot.
Snobbo.
Yeah, Snobbo.
Yeah, Snobbo. But the one bad thing about Snobbo is bad zones. You always need mobility.
Yeah.
But hey, there's multiple houses, so we'll probably get a lot of shockwaves and stuff.
Yeah,
Sure.
we're definitely gonna get a lot.
We're
of
probably gonna get a pad, yeah.
FNCS.
So Chris, are you coming over or am I coming over?
Maxie, what's your favorite skin out of the battle pass? This is my house. I marked it.
No one's landing with us, which is really good.
Exactly. That's why I
Oh,
picked.
dude, is that-
That's mine. That's
There's a
mine.
blue tactical SMG. I'm grabbing the blue pump. This one's fun.
What?
That blue pump and stinks.
Mean.
Shit.
Maxie,
No,
get in the battle pass. My brother asked.
my favorite skin. Ooh, that I don't really know.
Maxie's taking
I
this
re-
like review.
Your life depends on this answer, just so you know.
One false move and you're dead.
Yes.
What are the skins of the battle pass again? Oh yeah. There's a blue AR. I have a blue AK. I have a shockwaves too.
You know all those
Right there.
clickbaiters who did
I
Batman
do
in
that.
Fortnite?
That's good loot. I've like flipping chicken
I have
nuggets.
amazing. I have a blue AK and blue pump and green tactical
I
SMG.
have pretty bad loot.
Okay, Rip Jordan.
Yeah.
Probably I really like
Mother-
the
Action shot.
um,
Trucker.
your skin that you're wearing, Chris. But I like. I really like the tier 100 actually. When it's
Ultimate
red form and the Black Knight form.
Yes.
Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Ooh.
You are cray.
I got 4 shockwaves on me. I got them. Let's-
I could carry the. Wait, Chris.
I can carry them too. I have 2.
Chris, I'll give you the bolt for the shockwaves.
No.
I'll give you 2 shockwaves for 2 shockwaves.
Bro, that's such a good deal.
Yeah, dude.
I don't need an AR. Screw that.
Chris, you're not paid.
No.
Guys,
I love blue AKs. They're freaking lasers, bro.
I'm gonna drop-
When people
Okay,
pad
guys.
late game.
I'm
I've
dropping-
took splash. I've choked
No,
splash.
don't throw them
Oh,
down.
I have a pump,
No,
extra
no,
pump
guys,
for
I have
someone.
4. No, I have 4 minis. You guys each could drink 2.
Wait.
Oh wait. no.
Okay.
I'm carrying minis, by the way. I have 1.
I'm carrying stinks.
Okay.
I'm carrying
Oh, yeah.
shockwaves.
What's your guys' loadout? I'm carrying shockwaves.
AR,
I have a pump,
Sans pistol, and bolt.
blue
and
tactical
minis.
SMG,
We've actually come
4
to me, come to me.
shockwaves, and 1 mini.
Bro, do you even know how to loot houses, bro? You missed the
Ew.
chest, Jordan. You.
Oh, there's also a big pot on me, Maxi, so you could Drink 2 minis.
Yeah.
No! No!
Yeah, bro.
no.
I couldn't really find it either. Oh. Purple tag.
I'll take it.
I got chug splashes too. I'm carrying chug splashes. Chris.
Oh, then
I dropped my tactical SMG and like I picked up a blue pump.
Shockwaves, yes.
There's a blue pump like right here. There's a blue pump right there.
Bolt.
I already
if
have
any
one.
of you want it, I have shockwaves now myself.
I might.
Come take the shields, Max.
Where's the big pot?
Can I have it?
No, come here.
I need to get the.
Let me show you.
Wait, can we just pop these chug splashes?
No, because then that's just
I'm
wasting
gonna
everything.
carry them. Exactly.
No, Max, you have 2 minis. No, stop.
This is me!
Oh,
He took.
Oh.
Can I? Yeah.
Big pot,
He took my big
now.
pot.
A big pot now, boy.
took his big pot. How dare you?
Sorry, I need the big pots.
Bro, this gives you these like brick pallets
God,
thing.
no,
Give you so
circle,
many mats. We didn't get a launch pad, guys.
Yeah, bro, we didn't get
Liars.
a launch pad.
Oh, we got shockwaves, so shut up.
Shush.
I don't want to use my shockwaves.
Yeah,
Chris,
neither
you
do
got
I.
more. You can
I'm
use
saving
them.
it for late games.
I only
to
need
get high
2.
ground.
Me too.
Don't. We can just run.
I've watched a lot of tournaments. Okay, they're very useful.
Run,
Can I have
Chris.
some sniper ammo? I just have about 1 bullet.
Yeah, sure. Take this. Is it just?
I mean that's a kill.
Here, take it. Take it.
What the heck? Wait, no, check this out, guys.
What?
Yeah,
I
it says
don't take
defuse.
anything
Look
off.
at
We
this.
have
Look
to-
at this.
Maxie!
Oh.
We have to leave.
I just defused a bomb, guys.
I didn't see.
Here, we'll go soccer. We'll get some chili peppers in like your foot, and then let's go. Come on, hurry.
I'm pretty sure it's like the juicy jump bears.
Yeah, and chili.
Dude,
So, how you guys-
if we shockwave off that, we can get to zone.
Wait, so guys.
No,
how
we
you-
can go to the Gotham will have glider
Glider.
deploy. So
Wait, so how do you guys like the new Batman update?
that's good.
Batman's been bad. He farted.
I'm
I like
just
the
glad
cave
they
though.
took out
The cave's
Tilted
pretty
Town.
sick.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty clean.
No, I like Tilted Town.
Yeah, Sam, I loved it.
I didn't like it because I
Chris,
couldn't build.
Share.
I thought for a
It
minute.
smells like sticky cheese in there. That's why I loved it
Alright,
so much.
take a hop rock. Take a hop rock and a chili pepper.
Stop, Steph!
Wait, you can do that?
Button. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can. You run fast and you can jump fast.
Stefano, you're losing your own points. Just saying.
I mean, that is a good point, it really is.
Not working? Steph, why is it not working? I literally
took a
did
lich.
the thing that it tells you. I'll save them for you guys.
Super, you've done it before, it said. Wait, real quick.
I got it.
Can you look at the jump?
Whoa.
Huh?
I can't. I'm gonna redo it.
Steph, I can't. No.
Hop rock. Guys, get to zone. Get to zone.
No, you took my pop rock, Chris.
There's one right there.
No, dude. Now I don't have the chili pepper.
Guys, it's okay. The hop rocks actually
need to
bounce
run
kinda
back.
fast.
Run!
No, I put my chili pepper in like a long time ago.
Video.
Come on, get me into Gotham so I can...
Oh! Give me your mother flipping ammo, boy! Come on.
Chris, do you have any heavy?
I'm using a sniper. I only have 13.
David.
Medkit on me.
I only have 7, Chris. I only have 7.
Run. Batman. Run.
Bat Ginger.
Batman!
That just sounds wrong. A Bat Ginger.
Oh yeah, use the bat cape just to get out of here. Whee!
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I thought for a minute you would fall and die.
Yeah. Well, oh great. Next zone's looking tasty.
Bro, our zone is perfecto.
Bro, dude, the zone's literally on the other side of the map.
Alright guys, right when we get into zone, immediately box up.
Wait, stop. It said
What?
You did three already, so you know.
Right, when we get into zone box up.
I consumed a chili-
Kids.
No, go away. No, I don't
I'm
want.
not. I'm just saying. I'm just saying there's kids, so be on the lookout. He's so
Don't
bad.
side. Don't. Wait,
He's
is it a
so
solo?
bad.
Is it a solo?
Oh, boy.
It's a solo and he's so bad.
Oh, then yeah, kill him. I don't care.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, dude! Dude, he hit the fence too!
Oh god. He is not that half bad.
Almost ready?
Oh god, guys, watch out! If he sniped us, I'm mean.
Oh! Ah! Guys, I'm kind of scared.
Did he just?
Jump
I think he
off.
took fall damage.
I think he did.
Oh, 360, you go. You. Oh, I'm a crate.
My last game, and then I have to eat breakfast.
Thank you.
Then I'll
I'm
be
gonna
back.
destroy these crates.
Bro, I don't hear the kid. Or,
I think he did because he was so scared of me.
uh,
Mighty Christopher.
like, just.
That's what he was scared of.
Just you by yourself?
There's. Ouch!
What?
Rebecca, where's you at? Just hiding in the bush.
Just get into
think.
zone and box up, guys. I don't want to.
What's his butt chuck?
I wanna fight.
Chris actually saw.
I wanna fight.
Alright, boy!
Do you have any ammo? I only
There you
have
are.
5.
Oh my god.
Guys, he's over here!
Chris, use your shockwave to kill him. He's so.
What the heck, Chris? That was such a waste.
It really was.
Chris, that was such a waste.
Boys, I don't care. Yeah, destroy that rock.
You might
Okay,
even.
he's
die.
getting
one
late.
shot. Love everybody, he's a one.
He's a one shot. Got him.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely
I
demolished
can
mice.
hold them. I can hold those. Alright, guys, box up. Chris, go and box up.
I can use my chug splashers to get full shield.
There's some more wood here, mate.
Yeah.
Ouch! My trucker.
Alright.
You guys have any? He had a sniper. Heavy ammo, please. I have 4.
I'm 11. He had no heavy ammo.
I have
6.
4.
Yug splashes, Maxie.
Chug splashes.
Oh, wait, no. Alright, Chris,
Is
come
it
here.
just-
Come to me. Let's box up. Okay.
No. Let's go for this.
No, I'm
simple
itching my
super.
knee. Don't get sniped. Oh, there's kids.
No,
I see
no, no.
you.
Chris, stop. Oh my god.
Where?
Don't
Where?
go for
Where?
the supply.
Where? Oh,
Leave
where's
the
the
kids
people,
alone.
Maxie?
Tagging him.
Leave the kids alone.
Maxie, where are you? Where's the people at?
Where's the chug splashes at? You marked.
I marked them. They're on the like wood plank thing.
Chris,
I might get lasered.
Later.
no, oh my god. I was literally just making us a box. You guys are.
Broke a shield. Did I have to fight him?
Wait, is it a solo?
I got
Yeah.
minigun. I got a flippin'
We're
minigun,
all
guys.
separated. Chris, come back. Oh my god.
It's not a solo.
Oh no.
I'm grabbing his maps. Hoverboarding to me.
Who threw a shield bubble on me?
Sì,
Smetti di giocare, vieni giù a fare colazione e c'è da aiutare.
devo finire, papà.
No, devi finire, devi muoverti, ti devi lavare, vestire, piegare cose. Come on. Non voglio rispondere a chiamate,
Oh, he's in the place where we were.
Leave it.
Dude, I'm shockwaving to you.
Yeah, no, Chris, just get in the box. Oh my god.
Got him.
Give me the heavy
Wait.
ammo.
Now let's all get inside the box.
Max,
There's 8. Oh,
you just like stole everything I just had.
Bro, I need that heavy ammo.
Yeah, how much did he have, Max?
A bit.
Wait, my bad.
Actually, tell me, Max. Don't lie.
Not that much. I'll split. If you split. Double split?
Okay, yeah. We'll do double
heavy ammo?
split. Yeah, a bit, man. Oh. God.
You just
Yeah,
picked up everything.
Okay, no.
I'll
You
split
split
again.
there. Yeah.
No, you
Split.
just came to me.
Split.
No, why'd you pick it up?
Jordan! No.
What? I don't mean
much do
to.
you have?
You guys are so annoying.
How much did you
How
have?
much do you have, Jordan? Maxie, I mean.
25.
I have 22. Drop me one more.
You.
Oh, wait, now,
One
wait, guys,
floor.
we need to.
No,
go to zone.
just pop one chug splash, Max. Just pop one chug
Wait, wait
splash.
for me,
We all
wait for
need
me.
it.
For all of us, true.
Oh god. Yeah, throw it down.
Bro, I didn't find those chug splashes.
You didn't? Did he
No,
take them?
they're not on the wood pallet. No, he wasn't even there.
Guys,
Oh,
come on,
someone
we have
used
to get
them.
the zone.
I have a launch pad. Just saying. Just putting
No,
it
that's
out there.
waste.
Yeah, we can run this.
Just box up when we get into zone.
Why you like boxing, bro?
Because it's a good idea. You don't
How
get
much mini
shot
ammo
when
do you
you're
guys
just running
have?
around.
325.
100.
But I'm using
Can I have
the,
some? Because I'm holding
my
a minigun.
gun. I know, but
using-
not. This is my only like mid-ranged weapon.
Oh, Legu, can I have
Yeah.
some mini ammo?
Sure, fine. Oh wait, no, I have it for my SMG.
Broke a shield.
I barely have any. Get up on this hill.
Over here, white. Hit him white. Dude, you're literally blocking me off, Chris.
Edit. I'm sorry, edit. Oh fuck.
It's fine.
Oh,
We're getting griefed. We're gonna get griefed.
3 bucks. Oh man.
Locked up, guys.
No, we're not in zone. We're not in zone. Wait, should we go over there?
Oh my god. He docked at the last second. That's so stupid.
A mini ammo. Legu, mini ammo.
I barely have any. Yeah.
Do mini ammo? Bro, why do you always box up out of wood?
Because I don't waste my other mats.
Okay, I'll give you barely. This is barely gonna be anything, but.
Oh, nice.
I guess if someone shoots our flipping floor, then we won't flip and fillet die.
I'm gonna take some peeks. Actually, never mind. Don't.
No, just come over here. You can take peeks right over here. I'm just looking. I'm just scouting right now. No, don't. You're gonna get heavy sniped. You see now Jordan.
We have a launch pad. We can launch pad out.
No, that's a waste. Actually, no. We're gonna use it.
Zone.
We have to, Max.
Come on. Come over here.
Max, come.
What is that?
Fuck.
Nice play.
Very good.
Oh.
All right, go to zone.
Tower.
Tower.
Don't go
Don't
so
go
high,
too
though.
high.
Yeah, don't go too high.
Yeah, I know. Like right here.
Right.
Give me. No, I did a brick.
Oh god.
I got tagged.
I got
Here,
tagged.
I'm gonna pop one chug splash for all of us.
Oh, Laggy doesn't really need it.
Yeah.
Break all of this.
Turn it all into ours. Oh wait, I'm placing a roof.
Done.
Let's gather around the campfire and sing the campfire.
One more big. Okay, we're good. Let's go, guys. We're so good. See? Okay.
No, I was gonna break this so I can make it into mine.
People
Tag 80, 84. 84, I'm in a minigun.
Bro, they're getting lasered.
Let's go, guys. We're getting a lot of
Bro,
points.
tag one. Headshot 70.
Yeah, I tagged an 8.
Health or shield?
They're holding. Don't bother.
Yeah, don't bother. Alright, close that up. Oh god.
First come.
Jordan.
Gun.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm pressing.
Jordan.
Where's the cone? I'm placing cones. Oh, right here. He's rotating. Guy rotating. Oh, I almost got tagged.
Watch out. Hold the walls.
I'm holding.
Oh, yeah.
We should get it knocking us down.
Yeah.
We're in storm. We're in circle, I mean. Right here.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh,
nice,
dude,
nice.
there's a freaking opening. Bro, you need to box up more.
Max, don't do.
I'm just peek. I'm peeking because they.
I just had to reset
Wait.
them.
Yeah. I know. I'm finishing my game.
Watch out.
I don't know. It's a tournament.
Liar. Watch out! Oh my god, you got lasered.
Use meds.
Dropping minis.
Why I said
Take
not.
Or not.
Max.
What did I do? You were the one who's peeking.
Yeah,
I was just
don't
looking.
Oh no, they're breaking
Guys.
down. Get out, get out.
Guys, chug splashes. Oh my god.
Everyone come.
We're here.
You need chug splashes?
Just throw
Chugs.
them. Just throw them.
Oh.
Just waste them. Oh.
You need to
Dude,
rotate.
that's why
though.
we need to build out
Shockwaves.
metal
You guys
and
want to do
stuff.
shockwaves?
Group shockwave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shot.
Right here. Right here. Right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah! Oh, I got height! I got height! I got height!
Nice. I'm coming up.
Oh god.
I didn't get height.
Jordan.
I didn't get height. He took it.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh god.
Tag! Tag! Lasered! 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 Right here, lasered! Right in that box.
Knocked. Knocked.
Nice. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
the guy
Yeah.
in the trap, I think.
On me, on me, on
Hey,
me.
mini ammo! Mini ammo! Chris,
That's
mini
like,
ammo.
oh
Thanks.
no, I can't give you that much. There you go.
Thanks.
You're
I'll
Max.
grab
You
this pump.
Coming.
Somebody else grab the minigun.
This
We
is
need
me.
to take this stuff
This
back.
is me.
Okay.
Do you guys have mats for me? I don't have any.
I barely have. I don't have many.
You don't have
I
any
don't.
mats?
I don't.
Do you have
I
any
can't.
mats, Chris?
No, I need to keep some for myself. Here, I'll split my wood with you.
Okay.
I'm splitting wood too.
Thank you.
Group shockwave. I have one left. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, group shockwave.
Wait,
Oh god.
yeah.
Go.
One, two.
Yes.
That did nothing for me.
Maxie and me got together.
Yeah.
Try not die.
I'm coming.
I bet you that's real advice. Then we just get hit him for 35.
Tag 42.
Yeah.
42.
Hit him for 35.
Against circle.
Watch out.
Knockdown. Didn't get completely.
Trying to steal a kill.
Yeah.
Should I take height?
No,
nice.
No,
Us versus a
no,
trio.
top. GG.
No, I'm gonna take height.
Oh god.
You shockwave means storm. No, help on me, help on me.
Help on me.
Stop shockwaving me into storm, guys.
I'm not. That was somebody else. We both didn't use any shockwaves. Knocked one. Knocked one. I need to finish for health.
Got one guy low. Guys, one low on me.
Killed one.
Behind you.
No.
TPM. Come on, guys.
No, I got stuck in storm. Yeah, let's go.
I have no more mats.
No, I'm
You guys versus one. Chris, that's the guy. He's low.
No, let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
I don't
Let's
heals. I'm good.
Let's go. Let's go.
Go.
Jordan had 0 kills.
You got storm.
6 kills for me.
2 kills for me.
Goated. I'm so clever. Goated.
go.
Yeah. Go goated. Yeah.
Okay, I gotta go.
Oh, goated.
I'll be back.
Be back, right?
Goated. I'm so goated. Right, Jordan? I'm goated. I'm goated on the 6. Steph, is breakfast ready? Okay, Jordan, I'm just gonna go and eat something. Is that fine?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be back, okay?
Okay.
I'm so goated.
Let's go, bro.
Goated.
I just hear him in the hallway. Goated. We gained so much stuff that one. Literally, I had like 300. Now I'm at 100. Alright, I'm gonna just play this and I'm gonna go get a drink because my throat hurts so much right now.
Camel's gonna get traded out, and now suddenly the tables have changed. Harmy's down, Pepper's by himself, and it's a 2v1 situation here, Shayo. What is he gonna do?
Right now, Miro has everything on lock by himself. He has to be up there. It is a 2v1, but he is isolated at the moment. Amplify dropping down some support off the top. Quick angles coming in, but there's too much shield available for just a one-shot knock-off. Miro dropping all the way to low ground to regroup, understanding, hey, we have a numbers advantage. Let's play to it. But it looks like Pepper actually has more HP than both these guys combined off his shield. There is a campfire ticking, I believe, somewhere, not actually getting hit on the Miro at the moment. He's going to be taking a chug jug. Can Pepper hear it before it pops off?
Oh, 100%. He knows it's coming here. That's why the shots are coming down. All he has to do is continue to put that TAC SMG pressure down, but it doesn't matter. Now that he has the chug jug active, he's got the 200 effective HP. He's hitting all of his shots, and that's going to be Pepper who falls to victim of Miro, Matzo, and Amplify, who've had a phenomenal last 2 days so far.
Bold strategy, and it pays off at the end. 15 whole seconds of time they needed to buy on a fight that was only 4 stories high. That is a very risky play to take. I'm surprised it actually worked. But Amplify, one thing we've seen from him time and time again, unorthodox strategies, risky calls. Oh my God, Monster.
But wait a second. I literally just reviewed this in the previous game, seeing from the Twitter angriness coming out of this trio right here, because they were taken out. They're getting dived on by this squad. This squad has come in with different strategy, and it looks like they're trying to bring it to him. But there's another trio rotating from the distance. MMB is not getting a free pass today. Squads are not having it. So Mitro making the plays in the low ground here. Karashi Kong, and their third is up top. Out comes the shockwave play, beautifully done. It's going to allow them to take that high ground. There's someone nearby. Can Mitro win this fight? We saw him lose the previous battle, falling victim to a trap play indeed, and now he's out of builds. He gets collapsed on, just showing that Karashi makes the better of him right here. Mongrel still in the running though.
Yep, right now that shockwave actually did give them a little bit of space to work with, but left Mitro isolated, right? We've seen in some of the qualifying weeks that shockwave's gonna have a huge effect. Benji now, it looks like he's the last alive, does get some Elim points.
He's clutching up right here. He's clutching up. He hit that shot. That Siphon's going to play huge. Can he pop the minis here? The third party has arrived. Another trio's here. Makes a quick edit. Benji is nuts with it. Catches Karashi. So at the very least, they take that victory right there. And it's a small one in its own. Even if Benji can't clutch up at this moment, they took out that first team. But their squad's all over the place. Benji's not having it. He's still making moves. He still has plays to make here.
Mongrel has a timer on his clock too. This could prove so bad for them ultimately at the end. A pickup from Marcus C and Catcher coming in, adapting their game style early game. A bit too much for the plate of MMB to handle. They've got one more game left.
But it's not over.
Established that it is not over, Monster.
It's literally not over. There's another team, I think, that just came over, or... Yeah, I see all kinds of players here. Another squad lands, and what is happening? It could be just because of the way the zone fluctuated. It's pushing down from retail. Catcher's so low here. He's barely clinging on to life right now, and Marcus is holding on. That player still has a bush. He has to land a shot. Can he get it to crack that the bush off right here? And now he's in a little bit of a box battle right now.
Yep, right now the cube monsters around them are going to be affecting this fight so much, and this fight is dragged on so long as well, right? You use utility a lot in the beginning. Oh no, both players go down at the same time. Kesher, Marcus out of the competition. Lukey, Smiley, Arter, everyone else has one game left, but these guys get to play out this full game and another one afterwards as well.
Let me tell you guys what happened. Mongrel, Benji, Mitro get into a fight. They handle that fight. They end up coming out victorious. Third party comes in. They come in. They win the cleanup. Kesher and crew. And then the last squad comes in and wipes that up, all because of the way the zone was kind of favoring. Maybe it was because of the frustration expressed on social media. You can't show people that you're affected. You can see it literally coming into play now.
Yep, the toppling domino effect.
That's right.
You can't, the tilt, the amount of people coming into the drop. Right now, retail is no longer the focus, though.
It's no longer safe.
It's no longer safe either. You can't just, you can't have freebies. You can't have freebies at all. We're focusing on crew, though, now. Seeing his trio doing a lot of ingenuity with themselves as well, with the nades, the actual choices they implement, and when they actually take them in the mid and end game. The entire leaderboard after this game, the amount of trios that went down that were high up, should be shuffled. It's anyone's game, it seems like, for those mid-tier prize pools right now, Monster.
That's right, and a monstrous shot coming out of Crew here, showing why the infantry rifle is a fan favorite for these competitive players. Neek is going to go down right there. Can he actually follow up? There's a battle going there, so that's probably going to convert in just a bit. There's also a squad right underneath him. The MCES boys are huddled up right underneath. They hear the shots. They can use this opportunity to sneak up because, you know, they can if they want to. Probably not going to here. Crew's going to make sure there is no easy revives going on over there, but it looks like it's happening. Looks like they're going to be able to get that save off right here, Shayo.
Yep, and Orc is actually, you talked about whether the MC or the trio that's actually on the side of this hill.
Yeah.
It's their favorite position at the moment. Yep, the confirmed Elam at this point in the game as well from their position. Very hard to get. Free points. We talked about the wavelengths you want to be on when you're playing these games. How do you, collect all your points? How do you accumulate them? Are you playing for end? Are you looking at different things? Very smart from Crew as well to back off that position as well, to not attract too much attention, as well as the soul grenades, right? They have the potential to get them down during the game. They don't want that to happen to them at all.
Yeah, very nice positioning there indeed, using those 3 1-by-1s to hold off players from the mountain, trying their best to control the area. Let's see if Clement and his team can control this area, as we've seen Bad Sniper have some plays this weekend. Nice little shot right there. It's not going to come in. It's not going to connect, but now he's in a little bit of a box battle here. It is a brick wall, so it's kind of tough to get through. Doesn't matter. Belvid is going to fall down. And now they have the high ground and they have the advantageous swing because they got the knock right there. So that's going to convert. This entire team is so healthy.
Yeah, but there is more teams left in the storm with another knock as well. Looks like when you do have all these lanes coming in to big POIs that have things such as campfires and metal to collect off of your drop, if loot paths connect, it can ruin games. And you can see that right now, this big mid-game fight on the storm line now. Looks like time is not of essence for these teams at all. This late in the game, Imagine goes down. The Elam points getting shuffled up early on. 64 players left alive. It's chaos on all sides of the map. Snow, grass, desert, doesn't matter.
But it's not over yet because that team coming out of the zone is hot on their tails right now, and they've claimed a stake on the mountain nearby. So as Clement, Hoppy, and Bad Sniper wrap this battle up, they're just listening to the shots firing down, and there it is. Now it's their turn to turn in and trade shots. And this is aggressive. They probably had chug splashes, if I had to guess, to get their health back up, and that's exactly what happened. It's Scalar and his crew here, but they're competitive veterans. They know better than to stick around and linger around if a team wrapped up that battle. You can see they're already disengaging.
No. Yep, the priorities are kind of changing and ever changing depending on how much time there is left on each engagement, right? You want to get to the next zone. You can't even see it on the mini-map just yet. It's a little bit more sad.
Now, this thing's kind of take a chill.
That's actually really huge because if you notice in his inventory, he has shield bubbles. That's a free rotate he could have had with his team if one of them actually dropped a shield bubble on his bush. So now they're gonna have to adapt for that entirely. It looks like they're on that end game wavelength using minimal mats, wood mats as well, or wood materials, just because you want those hard mats at the end of the game to be able to tarp out and not get that much pressure. They're waiting on high points on the map, collecting tags for Storm Surge. They just want to hold height and use all their resources at the end of the game. But will that prove for them to get complacent and not capitalize on points near them? Will they have a surprise come out, Solar Renays or another trio like Orc on the sides of their mountains? Only time will tell.
All right, little marker coming out here from Chinkin, spotting out all these players in the distance here. And you got to love when you have zone like this because, look, they don't have to build. Yes, they don't have max materials right now, but they also don't have to sacrifice any material to hold the cause here on the map. now, and you can just kind of stick around and you know, watch the field unfold, which is going to be or prove to be invaluable for game sense coming in later, because they'll have control of the field, being that they have this location, this bird's eye view over the rest of the map.
Yep, one big thing about this portion of the map as well, we usually don't see this actually, is the use of recycled mats and buildings around you, as well as a lot of high natural element.
Wait, what?
What?
Oh, I have to go take a walk, then go down to Starbucks and go to Chris's house.
Oh.
Okay. Bye.
Out of proportion, the wavelengths we touched on early on, if everyone's on that same aggressive W key wavelength, it might just prove fatal for a lot of trios in that mid ground if they want to get involved or not.
Take a look here. They're going to get the first stake at the next set of land, claiming this territory here. Hello, build himself a nice pretty house and a pretty home, as they're going to set up real strong. So they have the high ground. We're leading into half in, half out zone. And Andretta is also close nearby, but look at the pinch here. You have Stompy, Chinkin, and Aqua playing so wide right now, and they want this. They want this. Aqua can say, hey, I'll help you guys get to me safely. No problem. You guys stay up there, ping people off the air, because they have zone favor right now. So this next zone is going to be crucial for them as the zone starts to continue over. Here it is. The launch pads are happening. The community plays are going down. Will they be able to find and convert on some elims? They need these knocks here, as there's only 50 players in the lobby. This is the time to cut and slice it down and trim the fat from the game. Take a look at Mr. Savage here. Rockets are coming out, and they've been having a phenomenal day as well, as Item and Rojo are another team that plays so high during the World Cup. They have all the experience in the world to compete under these pressure environments, really, we should say.
Yep, right now Savage as well has so many options in his toolkit and his loadout to use. It's all about surviving and making sure you can use them, playing safe. You'll notice he's making boxes and running back into pre-built builds to actually make sure those boxes build up first, then he's in them safely. No risks are being taken that much at all, if any. And now the investment as well. You shoot a rocket, you have to follow up. You only have 3. Can he pick up more? 8 rockets now. Fills up on shockwaves as well. Full chug splashes. The classic infantry pump loadout, but did they overthink it? Zone coming in. So many teams now next to them. Hopefully they have a launch to get out of this situation.
That's what we like to call an impact elimination. One of those mid-game elims that replenish your entire squad and gives you the valuable resources that you need to carry on. 8 rockets is going to pay huge if they can stay in the game, because that's going to be their way to take that high ground, their way to claim and hold it, really, if they manage to get there too.
Yep, and let's talk about information. You saw Stompy, Chicken, and Aqua up top. Having height before this zone moves, you can see exactly where it's moving with the actual natural low ground on your mini map. And then if you're on mid ground / low ground, you won't have that information, right? That's how people get beamed. That's how they overlaunch. Item actually getting that pyramid peak lets these guys half bad, knowing exactly what's in front of them, be in this position, catch trios rotating in past them as well since they don't know. Deidre goes down. Item now investing one of those 4 RPGs. Looks like these guys have 2 RPGs on deck as well, both gold. Big loadouts available too. Look at that overview of the map. Everyone's in here for the last 2 games of Europe.
That's right, and they're trying their best to stick around and stay around here. Chinkin going for the high ground. They actually still hold the high ground because they've had zone favor thus far. And Dretta's going to get beamed down right here. He can't fall down right now. There's no way. You still have Falcony, the Vic, and Robobs in the running on the storm line right here. We know they're our team to look out for. They're in the lead. They've been so consistent so far. Here comes a Shockwave. It's every man for themselves. And he actually chucks someone into the zone with the Shockwave on accident, which converts into an Elim. That Siphon will be coming in soon, and that's going to put him in such a good place for the end game. 61 pop right here. There's a player nearby. There goes a Siphon, and he's got to be happy about that point right now. But it's not over. Robabs is in a battle here. It's a little bit of a box fight. Robabs actually gets traded out by someone in the zone right there. Crew still in the game. Stompy and Chinkin have the high ground here, or actually Chinkin and Aqua, and they just have so much control over the field. Take a look at this, Shayo. They have the high ground. They have the minigun. This is the textbook plays that we've seen during the World Cup qualifiers. They know how to handle these final situations.
Yep, it's all about learning from your losses. When people say take the L, Chinkin, Stompy, and Aqua, take the lesson. And right now they're learning and adapting so well, using minimal and actually worse mats than metal or brick while they're on height. It actually looks like holding height from 5th zone. It has such an investment, right? They're actually low mats right now. But with this, the pressure actually gets turned up. The dial gets maxed out because all you can really do is shoot and drop down. Aqua and Chicken now held up on 1 floor. Can Tohaj see that? No, actually. The zone bounces back. Although this is usually very, very good for height, it's so much better at this moment because Tohaj is going to be enticed to use that entire tarp for himself to conserve mats.
They've committed so much, but they haven't found eliminations, even with the high ground. So this has not been a very effective high ground. They have no builds and no elims. They have to turn it around now. They need big frags right here. And because of the no elims, they don't even have ammunition to spare here. So yes, they have control over the field, but it's not turning into anything. And that is forcing them to just fall behind right now. Soon they're going to have to make a desperate attempt and get into a box battle here.
Yep, we look at the big overlay. Chicken actually just split half of his 50 AR ammo to Aqua, so they are on their last breath on shambles. But will 50 be enough? Order goes down. Can they capitalize on that Elam and pick things up? White tags around them all. They need the loot. That's the most important thing. Points are great, but they're not going to be able to confirm placement. They'll get shaken around if they don't have the loot.
Nice shot on the owner. That's going to keep him
performance.
That's going to keep him in right there. So he did confirm on it. That's at least going to be a point for them. But now it's Boyer in the low ground with a big pop on Clement. Clement, no clutching today, buddy, as he gets taken out. E11, Boyer, and Verox are still in the running here. 3 duos remain. It's going to be a 1v2v2. Quick edit right there. Can he get it? Nice trap play is going to catch Tohaj. Tohaj is out, but he got the placement points he deserved. Can these shots come up? Now he falls down here. They actually still have builds as well. It's a 2v1 situation, and Smiley goes down to Boyer's pump and follow-up right there. Shayo, what an endgame.
Boom! Massive flinch. Jordan, you bought. Mom, what? Christopher's getting dropped off at... What, Mom? What's up? Toothpaste just slipped off. Is that how? Hey, Chris, can I try your toothpaste? Because mine's kind of whack. 10 million. Million. Fire.
Look at my skin. Look how vibrant it is.
Hello? I remember. Notice how he only knocks players because Batman doesn't kill. Guys, let read. Oh, let's raid Epic Games HQ. Hi, here's a sword and a shield to fight off some promoters. Still doesn't make up for the first related video. The Batman collab. Be careful, Fortnite players. Lots of self-promotion down there. We still need to remember the next. Don't forget. My gosh, all I see is self-promotion as well. It looks better. COD like. Be careful, soldiers. Saying be careful. Wait. Be careful, soldiers. There are a lot of people saying be careful, soldiers. Lots of self-promoters around there. Comment. I don't see anyone self-promoting. Yeah, what was that guy thinking?
No, wait, MMB is on their way back through Gotham City. I recognize those skins right there. Tripper and Kezher and Marcus are about to get into a three-way clash here with one of the strongest trios on the scene right now. They need these Elans, they need these points right here. And that's why they're going to be bloodthirsty. They're going to be so hungry to get them because they have to make it into top 5. They have to battle their way back up the train, back up the ladder here. We should say Benji's in the fray of it. He's in the house. He's hunting here. Mongo Mitro find the opportunity. Tripper's actually going to get the first exchange right there. So they're in the lead for the battle right now, but Marcus has no shield either. What is Tripper going to do? As he owns all the floors right now.
Yep, and at the moment as well, look at the instantaneous, use of utility. Let's look at the top 10 as well at the moment too. We got Boyer at top. They just won the last game. Chink and Stop, we've been very consistent on high ground, but have lost 2 of the games too. Falcon Lee, Robabs, and the Vic were staying up there the whole time throughout the day, but now have to reclaim their spot. The top 10 in contention too. The points breakdown, it's just 10 points. Mongo goes down. Actually goes down though.
Mongo's gonna get taken out there by the SMG play. Very sneaky by Tripper, and he converts on Elan. That is not what they wanted to happen here, as they are fighting in a very weird position. And now the aggro is on. They want this. No. They get the shot on Benji, and Benji falls with a big 95. Can Mitro clutch it in the final moments? But he's, of course not. It's 3 shotguns to 1 right there. And Camo, Harmony, and Pepper probably pushing in right here as they have heard the shots. Another trap play comes out. This team is on fire right now. Gotham City is theirs. Bye-bye, Clement. Once again, cannot do anything. Tripper is on a rampage here. Kezher's down, though. Marcus is extremely hurt. If they can't get the siphon right here, he's probably going to have to disengage right now, Shayo.
Yep, Tripper's actually going on full throttle, but is almost out of fuel. Now bandaging up again. Let's see if he can drive straight in and get the sub. Kezher's actually going. This is huge. They can have an entire new body, 5 new inventory slots to once again use. The rev is actually going to be coming right up. This fight might just be disengaged. Remember, every player now in the map also saw exactly who went down, right?
Sometimes.
The Kings they've fallen.
They've fallen. That's it. They're out of the running, guys. They've had a great run thus far, and they have fallen indeed. But the respectful disengage here. Clement says, hey, listen, Trip, you hit me pretty hard. That was a nice trade. I'm out of here, buddy. You can have Gotham City. The Kings of Gotham survive the running. Can they make it to endgame now? As we jump back into Stompy, Chinkin, and Aqua, we saw them hold this position before. Unfortunately now, Zone Favor is not with them, so they're already moving Using the hoverboard is going to allow them to cut straight across the field. And when we talk about it, the main problem so far has been the storm surge for them. So now they move on to the next mountain where they're probably going to siege up against some more players.
Yup, the premeditation of this trio just to know exactly how their drop spot's breaking down. On the right as well, we see Savage and his trio rotating as well. Everyone now is on that wavelength of, listen, the back half of the points, the 15 for the victory royale, all the elims you can get on Storm. Oh my God, actually, look, breaking it down. The trio's actually bunched up on this mountain, on the snow side, on the transfer towards Fatal Fields.
Top 5.
They're in the top 5. This is going to be actually momentous in terms of if there's a knock, if there's a tag on how people are moving, because everyone is a little bit trigger happy. Bella EU
I love
actually,
what just happened.
it was
I love what just happened.
Oh my.
Aqua with the money grenade shots right there are actually going to take him out, forcing a shield bubble to come down, but it's not going to be enough. Shockwave for the disengage here. Tohaj, Caxi, and crew need to get out. Can Bella EU back up in time? They're all so hurt. Aqua's not going to let him go. He's a World Cup champion here. He's not going to let him go. They're on the pressure here. Okay, all right. He decides it's not enough. They back up just far enough. They're doing so good consistency-wise. They don't want to go for it. Little do they know, though, that's some of their biggest competition right there.
Yup, the tunnel vision's not there, which is great, but this is kind of the journey they've been through in this entire match, right? They've been hit so hard in the beginning and early on. Now they know the extent of you have to kind of bulk up, and oh my God, who needs bulk when you have precision? Darker only getting even more dark and shady underneath the tree. Not enough time or actually objects in front of you to save yourself, my man. Split off of his trio in the river. That elim's gonna be confirmed. Remember, it was a 3-point difference for these guys from the top. Now they just caught up. We'll see if this is going to be enough, and these mats and utility dropping going to be enough for these guys to have a more advantage in the late game.
Slowly but surely, they're closing that gap there indeed. Crew, Chapix, and their last teammate, Beehive, is here in Fatal Fields. We also have Savage, Item, and Rojo. All of our top 5 contenders so close to one another. These guys are all in the top 10 running here to take away the FNCS finals. Every single engagement matters because it is that close in the final leaderboard. If you fall, you give away your position to another team who's only climbing that much higher. That's how close it is right now.
Yep, and it's Savage's actual second chance, a very similar loadout that we saw before. He has the shockwaves and the RPG again, but a big cheese moment coming out in the fields. He actually goes down. That is a huge elim. A big part of that trio as well. When all 3 of them are up, that's when they perform the most. Losing one of your big links might actually be a big bump in the road for these guys to have a successful end game. Big win conditions there too. Chug splashes, RPGs, and shockwaves lost to that trio.
Now the question is, can they get the reboot card? They own all of this. Item, Rojo, and Savage are in the 5th place right now. Crew, Chapix, and Beehive are in 8th place. Caxi, Tohaj, and their teammate, they're so high. They're in 3rd place with Bella EU. This is how close it is. They're all next to each other. If any single team take a battle with the other, they're going to fall in the ranks and someone's going to take the lead here.
See, that's the pressure these guys are dealing with, but the zone movements still happen, right? You have to make calls. We saw it with Aqua. You still have to bulk up, but tunneling like Savage did there a little bit too hard, gauging too much in exploration. At this point, Game 6, the last of the grand finals, can prove absolutely fatal. It looks like people are actually getting trapped back on this side of the river as well in the mid game. Every moment matters right now. You want to make sure your loop path and movement is efficient, but being a little bit too efficient opens up holes in your builds, right? Using just wood, that's when SMG players want to pressure you, especially if it's this close range monster.
That's right. Little did he know there was someone sneaking close by, but that's why Pate and Dreta and Ritz here are setting up the ambush. They have the slight elevation and advantage over them. Stinkers are going to be unsuccessful, at least the first one per se. In comes the shield bubble to block any others from coming in, and they want to bring this box battle here. And Dreta's actually underrated when it comes down to box battle, similar to a Click's play style. He is fast, he's sharp, and he's witty with it, and that's why they win this exchange here. Pate and Andretta actually connect so hard right there. Another one. Fish Skin is just going to give it away. They know he's not on the team. Down goal Scalar to the fall right there. And this squad was in 10th or 11th place. Ritz, Andretta, and Pate were in the running, so all of these elims propelled them way high up, as that's a 4-point swing in their favor.
Yep, just look at the defensive trigger finger, instantly just dropping shield bubbles anywhere that's possible, taking bold edits without hesitation. Once again, using another shield bubble, which are so crucial on reaction, but but now this is pro-reactive. And Dreda in the driver's seat, usually as the IGL when things go bad in the trio, he's the one always working within chaos. He knows that, hey, I don't want to be in this situation anymore. Endgame hasn't even started yet. Let's get situated, and then let's move after that. Now the field is kind of calm. We don't see many people going down. This is where all the strats are being made up, Monster. What would be the best play to make for the trios at the top?
You gotta claim a mountain. Do what Stompy, Chinkin, and Aqua are doing right now. They have the high ground to the left. And I'll correct myself, and Dreda, Ritz, and Pate are actually in 7th when we last checked in, so they are so high in the running, but you have to claim some of that high ground. Get a zone to pass by without any, anything too crazy, because if you're out here, in the fields, this is rough. This is the worst case scenario for you.
Yep, right now, this clue show, right, it's just hesitation. On the mini-map, you can see it as well. People see the zone, but I guess everyone's just calming so hard right now and spending so much time in these hard-built mats on the edge. They're kind of wrecking themselves before their game even starts. It is game 6. There's a lot of pressure at the moment, but you can't let that hinder your game plan moving forward. Now the zone moves. Thomas taking ticks, going for a late launch pad. Provoked is there to watch it though, taking beams. Falcon Lee, can he get his wings snipped and fall down? No. Gets into a shield bubble, instantly using hard mats as well. Very smart. That 6-game process, learning exactly what you need to do. Has very good tools to use from this range as well. Heavy sniper, infantry rifle. Very good tools to actually get those damage spots done and take these one-off shots from odd angles. We'll see if this trio can use this position on edge circle to hopefully get a zone bounce back and move forward on their rotation.
Our first place team, E11 Boyer Vurox and Mortar sitting close by just underneath them right there. Now take a look. We have Left Eye, Zypan, Red Rush up in the high ground, Caxi, Bella EU, and Tohaj just below that. They're all in the safe zone right now. Mind you, beautiful stinkers coming out, just hitting that clutter zone over there of builds, and that's why they're pressuring. Because remember, when you're making that edit, your defense goes down, your back is turned. You can't block the suppressed fire, let alone hear the shots. It becomes that much harder. But taking a look up here, you have Luki, Artor, and Smiley. Again, they've been in the running. Just we haven't even heard much of them. Just been consistent so far today, and that's what you like to see, new faces rising up here. But Stompy, Chinkin, they have the zone.
You think that those are the orange markers on the mountain?
Yes,
there's no way.
There's no
way. Yes, it is. The prime time position, the only mountain at the moment that could possibly be hit from this zone. It is the Kings now reigning over the region. MMB is down, Chinkin, Stompy, Aqua are on top at the moment, figuratively and literally on the map as well. They have to battle through from 2nd to 1st at the moment. 2 shield bubbles though, and a lot of utility to use as well. 1 Elim already down on Stompy, so these guys do have a lot of the pressure that they took off the trio they got the Elim with. We saw that in the river before, so they own this whole backside. Using this position, have elevated ground as well. I mentioned this with Lupo the other day, right? When people launch pad, which they will, to them, they're going to deploy right in front of their faces. Having these ARs is going to be huge for these guys.
They just got to drop to land right above their heads. If that's not lucky, I don't know what is. But here comes the server. 9 out of the top 10 teams are still in the lobby here. Left Eye is going to fall down to Chinkin as every point just propels them with a huge swing. So here comes the grenades. This is going to be huge pressure. It's just going to trickle down the mountain as well. Remember, these explodes are going to crack open and fracture all of the builds. Taking a look at a little aerial view here, you can see what's going on. Look at this beautiful shot of the high ground hold and how they just have this entire mountain to themselves right now.
So what this does for this trio, having this much pressure from 3 different angles, it stops other trios in front of them. And since everyone's on that wavelength of using hard mats, it puts a great wall right in front of their actual high ground, putting more of an elevated mid ground from natural low ground. Follow me with me here, right? If the entire server is elevated, rockets reach your enemies faster.
And
right, an example
that,
right there.
Artor gets
goes
hit
down
with the huge one. Campfire giving away the location and the placement. Huge one. Campfire giving away the location and the placement. Little pressure on the walls there. That's another point that's going to swing in their favor. Finally, they are finding their elims with the high ground. We saw last game they struggled to find it, but they took placement with that high ground. This is going to be another game where they're just going to run it across the tarp here. Heavy Sniper's going to be able to crack something open. Can they follow up with some AR shots? That is the question right now, as the zone is going to cut back across, but they still have the favorable spot.
Yep, every single AR shot too, with how they've kind of structured people to stop in front of them and build up, will hit harder. Every headshot will hit for that max damage. The damage drop-off will not be there if they stick close enough to the ground. The big thing is, though, there's so many other shockwaves in the game on other trios. The lower you are, the more risk you kind of run with these shockwaves coming on unexpectedly out of hard mats. You can't predict it, but let's see if the accuracy is high enough for this god trio to get more elims. Mosquitoes all over the server. They have the swatters. Can they get any preliminary elims before this end game rotation starts? Chinkin is on the lead. Stompy out back. Aqua being the insurance all the way behind the trio. Their hard mats now getting used. Once again, they're on the 5th zone, keeping height. This is how they lose that height and the mats near the end of the game. They have to be very careful, Monster, moving forward.
That's right, but they're doing A-OK as any team that steps up to them is meeting the heavy snipe pump combo as Stompy is putting down the shots here. So Upsy Daisy he goes here. There's still 36 players remaining. Falcony falls down in the feed, unfortunately for him, and Ben, oh my gosh, you just look at the feed lighting up. There goes Mitro. There goes another. As these guys are looking for the shots right now. Can Stompy find another right here? Ooh. And it's not looking quite successful just yet. They still have shield bubbles too if they have to protect any of their back layers here.
Yep,
tarping out.
Chinkin's on top. They're going to be contesting a little bit, but going to stay up. They're only on one tarp, though. Aqua on the back defending, but if there's an immediate shot towards Chinkin and Stompy, that's a bad problem for them. They're going to drop down. The big thing is, well, Monster, look at this
motor goes down.
We have the duo together who perform so well in Worlds together, and Aqua, the overlord who knows the plays, who's won the competition at the back. It's a genius split, very efficient at the moment. The only thing they have to care about and watch out is for their mats. They have to make sure they have the resources to close out this game.
Here's why it's perfect. They're so high that they cannot be affected by shockwaves, so it doesn't matter. Like, Chinkin might get hit down, but they won't. They're still way up top. And there comes the little assistance, if you want to call it that. This could be a crucial loop delivery for more materials as they fight their way up. Can they get it right here? And Dretta's still in the running. Pate catches Daedra, and Chapix catches another. Ooh. There goes M10 Pepper getting taken out right there. Bye to him. Can they find another? And it is. It's going to be X8, and it's looking like this trio is going to take it away right now if they can just continue to hold out. It's not over yet. G2 Tohaj is still in the game too.
Yep, at the moment, 14 people left alive. Looks like there's 9 trios. Placement is still good to go around. Amazingly, Stompy, Chinkin, Aqua still have height from the half and half, from the 4th zone, from the top of the mountain. Now they're on the top of the leaderboards. Shield bubble still there. Heavy Sniper to add some flavor into any elims they can get. Shields being popped. Stompy stomping on the competition below him. There's wood mats now. Players are running out of the important materials to defend them from the game. Nick up top, just look at the actual HP at the moment. No one's actually peeked out. And if they do, Nyx's health bar gets depleted. They have eyes, not even 6, but it seems like 12, a million eyes on the whole server, top down, Monster.
That's right, but it's not over yet. We did see Virox for a second in the feed there. We know he's the first place, so he's still getting placement as the server continues to go on. It's anyone's game right now, but can they continue to close out? I love it. Chinkin goes all the way up trying to stay safe right now. Here comes Stomp. He's going to fall down. He's one that gets down and dirty for these elims right here. He has to get in the box plays. Only 9 builds remain. They have the ammunition. They actually have everything. This time around, they're finding some elims.
6 people left alive, 4 trios up. There still is 2 more placements to go with the victory royale. Now the downsprout of builds have to come down. Waterfalls need to be there. Shockwaves go up. It's a beam. Nikeva goes down. It's a 3v1 at the moment. The big shotgun. The victors of the region. Stompy, Chinkin, Aqua take it home. The Europe Finals, Game 6, the grand final. Winners of the region, 76 points. The victory royale.
My God.
10 eliminations from the trio right here, showing why they're a world-class trio. Can they bring it all the way home? We'll find out shortly with Sundown and Zeke in the studio.
Wait, did they win? I
mean,
it's pretty definitive.
Yeah, I mean, they're in first place, winning the match, took the high ground through, everyone else dropping all the way out. And I mean, what more could you ask for? The World Cup qualifying terror of Chinkin and Stompy back with a vengeance, adding in the World Cup champion duo, Aqua. God, like, just, it was nuts seeing them surge in the back half, able to overcome what a lot of people thought they wouldn't be able to do. MMB falling short. Let's take a look at those final standings because, I mean, Europe was insane. What a treat to kick off the grand final broadcast. And as you can see, Chinkin, Stompy, Aqua, congratulations. You are the European Season X champions, taking home your share of just under $500,000, 76 points, 13 clear, and also have to give a shout out to Andretta. While we were watching on the high ground, he went on a tear on the low ground and was just running through, basically 1v9ing and putting the team on his back to push them all the way up into second place. Boyer again making it into the end game. The victory royale clutch being the difference there between third and fourth, in a nice little payday as well. And then Tohaj, Bella EU, and Kaxi continuing the trend of consistency and placement, rounding it out, just falling short. And again, we see a pretty clear drop-off right there after that. I mean, 8 points is significant across, but again, congratulations to everyone here. MMB just on the outside looking in, a rough back half for them. But I mean, again, Zeke, this was so good. The gameplay was fantastic. Storylines were there. Seeing all the contested and then just the redemption.
That's right, man. World champion is now Season X champion. You'll love to see it. Let's also take a look at the next page, see who came in at top 20. Don't forget, everyone has worked hard to make it here. Let's celebrate all players across EU. Hoppy, Clement, and Bad Sniper. Clement with insanely clutch plays coming out of yesterday. Some of the most amazing highlight reels. Red Rush, Zypan, Left Eye. Here are your top 20 coming out of the Season X Fortnite Champion Series. You love to see it, but again, we have season champions.
We do have season champions, and just one, if you guys, like, congratulations, being and playing in the grand finals in the toughest region in the world, the most participated in, and honestly, I think the most aggressive overall as well. Just brilliantly done. Shout outs to everyone there who is able to perform, play in the heats, or even had a chance to compete in any one of the weekends.
All right, guys, beer back.
Beer
back.
Crown another
right now, just
Season X champion coming out of Europe. E11, Sinkin, and Stompy. Coolers, Aqua, adding into that nice little trophy case he has going on. I mean, he is building up a resume and a half.
You'll love to see it. Now, before we move on, we did make some predictions.
We did.
Earlier on in the week.
Yep.
And I just want to remind everyone of what all of our predictions across the board were. And it turns out that Shio Wager was actually wrong. Look at that. We all predicted Stompy, Tashinkin, and Aqua to win, and Shio Wager predicted Mongrel, Mitro, and Benji. Man, what happened, Shy? I mean, you know, what's going on here?
I've been duped, bamboozled. I feel cheated.
Did you see that? Did you see that? That was me.
No, come on, please.
In all seriousness, we need to go. Shy, take a bow. Take a bow. All of us were very definitive. We saw what MMB have been doing. We saw when retail was uncontested. Basically, everyone thought it's like, well, it's a battle for second. Shy from the beginning had been adamant that something would come through, and in particular, he was the only one out of all of us and Bala combined to not pick MMB, and on top of that, pick the correct trio out of the entirety of the European region. So just from us to you.
Yep, you know what that means. I guess we have to return the tub of mayonnaise we got.
Stop it. No instruments on the set, Zeke, but we do have a winner package coming out from the E11 duo and the World Cup duo champion, Aqua. This is a trio that is able to execute on their game plan. They're about consistency through the end, taking fights when needed, and making sure they close out the fights. And the key is, too, if you notice the names they're taking out at the end, they're very consistent. They're directly impacting results by picking up people who are right there, because you were seeing roughly the same 5 to 10 teams making it consistently through to the end, and they were better than all of them.
Man, just what an incredible day of Fortnite. Europe showing up and like talent across the board. So much wonderful play. You'll love to see it. I cannot be excited and more excited. And you think about it, we still have 3 more regions crowned.
Yeah, we still have 3 more regions on the broadcast. We will be covering NA East and NA West. We'll have some peek-ins to Brazil, but just we see what's going on in the high ground. Though one thing I want you guys to kind of look at in the top left when you get a second. Oh no, not from this game. Apologies, but just running through and their ability to not. We talked about it yesterday. How often do shots get returned towards them? When they establish the high ground in a meta where there are shockwaves, where there's RPGs, we saw them get shockwaved at maybe twice, and they had a player above that 7-tile reference mark and then supported him to maintain the control. Just brilliantly done from them. Every little moment mattering. And when you're that cohesive as a trio and you plug in Aqua, and I say that because Aqua is so versatile. His ability not only to play solos or fill with a dual partner or fill into a trio, that when you add him to such a power trio, and I think he acts kind of like as an anchor for that group. As Shai was talking about, he has the experience on the stage. He's been there and he's won it all, while Stompy and Shinken didn't necessarily have as strong of a performance on the World Cup stage as they would have liked. Adding in that and then wanting a little bit of hunger, and then Aqua knowing like, we've been there, we can do this, we can hold on, because that was very similar to his World Cup run. But we talked about it a little earlier, and we have to show it, because while they were at the top, and I wanted to go into this, and Dretta is a monster. He is a star on the rise, and this is his run. Keep track. He has 2 elims right now. He has 2, and this pushes him up. There is 16 trios left. We're not in placement points. They're down a trio. Paytech is still there, and watch the run directly onto Boyer. Converts right away. That is the direct competitor, the team who won the last match, and he's tunneling through. I mean, it is nuts to think this kid ran through the final week of solo qualification, went on the stage. He's so young, he's so confident, and he's so happy the entire time he's playing. He looks to be aggressive, looks to find picks, and all he wants to do is play Fortnite and win. Just finding these angles. Now into the first round of placement points. Keep an eye on the points in the bottom left. Drops into the box. This is Bella EU, Tohaj, and Kaxi. Another trio who he's directly against. Dropping Daedra. Another trio who is up on that board. This is the direct competition. You want to know how to make plays and to close it out in the clutch factor. This run is absurd. Like, he's only had 2 elims, but he set himself up so well to then continue running it out, Zeke. I mean, just watch.
And this is the first moment right there where he even got any builds. And it's only 6, by the way. The way he is just patiently waiting. He knows what he has to do. He knows what he needs to do to make sure he brings it home.
And then look at that hop back up, playing out in the storm as his teammates get down. Instant onto Verox. Boyer's teammate dropping him out there, pushing himself into top 8. That is a 4-point swing. Getting the conversion on XOXO, now has 30 builds into the top 7, but he's by himself. This is Andretta against the world, already sitting on 4 elims and working back through. I mean, this run is gross, and I can't stress it enough, because this is what Fortnite is about. This is what King did in the solo stage. This is about individual efforts when your back is against the wall, being able to make plays, clutching up when everything else is going on, finding all the edits. Red Rush goes down, closing in on the top 4. It's his 7th elim. He started with 2. There were 30 people. Full eliminates Tohaj, who's right there to push into top 4. The run from Misfits and Dretta, absolutely absurd. It put him 1 point clear into 2nd place, earning his trio. I mean, just such a great way to kick off the broadcast. Again, congratulations to all of you guys. We're going to catch our breath a little bit, slow down. We're going to go to a break, and we will be back with NA East coverage, games 1 through 6. So go do whatever you need to do. We'll do what we need to do, and we'll see you back here in a bit.
Well, at least he can focus on Pascal now.
got it! You are out of your fucking mind!
You're doing so good, sir.
Hello, family of Fortnite. BallTW here, and throughout the Fortnite Champion Series, we're going to be trying to get more acquainted with the world of competitive Fortnite. Today, we're going to be discussing the 3 different stages of a competitive Fortnite game: the early game, the mid game, and the late game, and what different players have as their goals during these stages in order to achieve the ultimate goal, the Victory Royale. Let's start with the early game. Also called the looting phase, this is where all players are attempting to secure their chosen landing spot and maximize their loot potential. In competitive Fortnite, every game matters, so players try to strike a balance between high loot opportunity and safety so as to not waste a game by being eliminated early. Do you drop at a high loot POI like Retail Row or Paradise Palms? Or land at a safer POI on the edge of the map, where less players drop because of less loot? Regardless, the goal is common, whether you take a passive approach by looting safely on the side of the map, or an aggressive and risky approach by letting others loot for you and finding early eliminations. Now that we know what the early game is, what should we be looking out for during this stage? First things first, being contested. The first realization players make when landing is whether you're being contested or not, to prepare for the upcoming possible fight. Trios want to try to force your opponent into the more disadvantageous position cut off from loot potential. Either they have to make a desperation push, or they're stuck with less loot where you can easily clean up. That's just the beginning, as even though it starts off high intensity with all the different POIs being contested, it quickly slows down as the rotations begin towards first zone. Looting doesn't end here, and most competitive players will have a loot path, which optimizes their possibility for finding the crucial mobility and weapon upgrades. Thanks to the new battle map feature in the replay mode, we can study these loot paths and rotations quite easily these days. So go check that out in any replay from the Fortnite Champion Series by going into the Compete tab and finding your favorite player. It will vary from game to game, but generally, we move into the mid game around the middle to end of second zone. The mid game is the calm before the storm. Before the storm circle gets too small where it forces the engagements. Most players' goals are positional, but in some cases, depending on how the early game went, you again have to strike a balance, this time between looting and farming, or going for the best position. Looting could include playing extremely aggressive to earn yourself other players' loot. In trios, it's much harder to play that aggressive playstyle, since fights take longer and cost more. You want to be efficient with any rotations or fights you have to take. You don't want to spend your precious mobility, valuable resources, or health. This is why you'll see a lot of the top players look directly for center zone in the mid game. When you're in the center zone, you end up giving yourself the most chance of being in the next storm circle when it gets revealed. You'll then have to go less distance and thus spend less materials. Finally, the end game, the most exciting, hectic, thrilling, and difficult part of competitive Fortnite. Experiencing an endgame can be confusing and hard to process, but it will also be one of the most rewarding and fun times to play and watch. This is when you take all the advantages you built in the early game and the mid game and use them to push yourself to a victory royale, and also find as many eliminations as possible. In the current Fortnite Champion Series format, every elimination matters, just like it did in the World Cup. From 6th zone onwards, where the calm from the mid game explodes into a cacophony of tunneling, mobility usage, and shots being fired, you'll see teams go for the ever so advantageous high ground, where they can tunnel very cheaply and have the most opportunity on the rest of the server for elimination, as they have the top-down view. You'll also see teams call out the need to find a good layer, which is away from other players, both above, below, and horizontally from you. You'll see teams desperate for the extra materials to last them through to the full zone closure, going for impact eliminations where they can top off on resources and power weaponry of their fallen opponents. So, whether you're watching or you're joining us on the field, take stock in the stage of the game. The early game, when you're trying to get the best possible loot while it's still available. The mid game, where you're balancing positioning while maintaining what you built during the early game. And finally, the end game, where you spend all the advantages you set yourself up with to earn the victory royale. Use this to form your game plan in order to earn as many series points weekend after weekend. And maybe next time, we'll be watching and highlighting your top plays. This was BallTW, and I'll see you in game.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Plays of the Week. My name's Sundown, and over the past weekend, we saw the FNCS action resume, and there are a number of players able to elevate their gameplay to the next level. Whether it's shockwave plays to take height or grenade launcher plays to survive the storm, let's dive on in and see what went down.
So we'll start right off here with WGS's QOO as he gets shockwaved out into the zone, but 6 Rocket says he'll be able to get back in. You see that 10 tick going over. Lammy gets insta-exploded, and he gets 2 other downs. He uses the ramp push to jump back in the zone.
Now you can see here another hyper-intelligent play from QOL, looking back into the zone and dropping the high ground, to which him and Jag will then be able to retake. 2 against the rest of the lobby, but it doesn't matter when you have this positional advantage. Some great shots, great explodes raining down, and QOO will be able to wrap that one up with a clutch finish from the low ground with the shockwave play. Now we're going to jump on over to Middle East, where we see the back-to-back champions of Fiesel, Klops, and Hero Kappa able to run off here, and keep an eye on that ticker in the right-hand side there. You saw Hero Kappa started off with 1 elim. He's going to rock out 5 back-to-back-to-back-to-back. No problem taking walls, using the Kuna stairs on the edit to close that one out. Brilliantly done from him there. Now over to Europe, where we're on board with Benji Fishy in a great push down after he got the rifle onto.
I'm gonna join this party. God. It was so over. Do that right there. Wait, it's about to be 12. Why don't they start at 12? That makes no sense because. Whatever, I guess. I'm gonna do duos for you know? Like, I'll play with other people in trios, but I'll only do it for just points so I can climb higher in champion mode instead of just by myself. I play better with a team, but. I'm not that a goodiano. A goodiano. $11, $12, $13, $14, $15, $16, $17, $18. 18 more. And these really only give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So I'll be 13 off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I mean, also counting actually, and I actually went by tiers. So I actually have no idea. Also I'm getting 300 V-Bucks in a few. Hello? Gotta push the pop. Hello? We have the same exact smiley face. People think we're literally a duo. Like, actual duo. This is Phil. Both have a smiley face. It's kind of funny. It's not funny one bit. It's just weird. Great spot, my guy. Yeah, no one's landing.
I think I'm too high.
You think you're too high?
Yes, because I misclicked my space button by accident.
Bro, he has like a audio.
I'm gonna head right here. See what happens. Yeah, I'm dead. GG.
Let's go over here.
I got one.
Nice.
He had the worst gun in the game.
Again.
Automatic sniper rifle.
He said again. He's so good with his vocab. On me, I have no gun.
Oh yeah, take the gun for you. Only this is how much ammo I have.
I got batarangs. I just got some.
Okay.
He stutters or like it's really weird. How he says.
Keep it right there.
Oh, okay. I think he has push talk on himself.
Oh, cool skin.
Thanks.
I'm too poor for a skin. Oh my god. Can I get in there? What the hell? They all get shotguns and crap. GG. So bad. He only had a shotgun.
That guy did not have push talk on. Yeah, why does everyone say nice skin? Like, it's like they really... I mean, like, it is good skin, it's just like... Come on, my guys. It's just... Like, it's like everybody... Oh, God. Oh, yeah, I pushed top on. It's like no one in the world has this skin. But I'm Batman. This guy's chasing. Bruh! I'm just Batman. What are you gonna do? Box me up? E-boy Elliot.
Hello?
Hello.
Where do you want to go?
Oh, where do you want to go?
I don't know. Where do you want to go?
Where does Bezalt usually drop? Oh, let's just go Meteor.
Alright. Does anyone even land there?
I don't know.
I think we should be good.
I'm playing with, I'm playing, totally with you. Oh, I swear to God.
Has anyone... I didn't even know you could land here. Oh, that was a really loud whistle. Wait, what is that? Thought you were an OG school trooper.
Wait, you didn't know, you didn't know you could land on the meteor?
There's a guy right here. So I'd really love to help you out in the fight, but like, you know, everyone wants to be on top of the meteor. They're like, hey, I know something cool to do. Be on top of the meteor.
That's not what's going through.
I need that. Well, I fell down. Well.
Have you like just gone in like? Have you been playing Minecraft lately?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm in this box. One's down. One's down. His name is Oops. Let. Baby, don't start with the fucking in the makeup. I'ma take the long way home.
Probably copyrighted. YouTube, please don't copyright me. Just see, no, that's probably copyrighted music or whatever.
Copyrighted.
Wait, what?
I know for sure it's not. Because of who made it. But can I have some shotgun ammo? Sure. I have 4 shots. I can't help you. Oh, okay. Some shit right now. I don't wanna let you down. Get that one. Well, that's unfortunate.
I'm gonna just mute him.
Well, I mean, playing the music would only matter if I was streaming. Unless you're streaming.
Guess who is?
Are you streaming?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Well, that sucks. You died. Are you ready to see me go down?
Thank you for the subs.
GG's. Have a good day.
GG's, you too.
What the? Who was that laugh?
Wait, he can hear me when I go push to talk? Wait, what? I literally let go and started laughing. Oh no, don't tell me push to talk wasn't on. It is on. Weird, but at the same... But okay. I laughed, and then he goes, what was that laugh? What?
Finally, we'll round out plays of the week with XP Nijby able to go to work with his...
Hello?
Hello? Yo. Hello? Hello? Yo, bro. Yo.
What's up, bro?
What's up? You streaming?
Yeah.
Yo, I am too.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Nice, bro.
Dude, what the?
How many viewers do you have right now?
Wait, you stream on Twitch, right?
Yeah, Twitch.
Oh, okay. I don't.
Oh. Okay.
Should I go Mixer? I feel like you say
So, what did you stream on?
What? What do I stream on?
Yeah.
Oh, I stream on... Which one do you think is better, Mixer or YouTube? Just a question.
YouTube.
My bad.
Wait, where are we going?
I guess just go here.
Huh? Oh, okay, sure.
You hate Mixer, don't you? Or do you not?
Nah. Not really.
I stream on YouTube.
Oh, you stream on you? Oh, shoot. I fell.
Alright, no.
I'm
yeah.
going right there.
Yeah, I stream on YouTube.
I fell.
You stream on...
Yeah, but we can add friends and stream together.
Wait, what?
We can add friends and stream together.
We can't?
We can add friends and stream together.
Do you curse? Answer. Do you curse? How many people are watching you right now? Hello?
Yo, hello?
Oh, hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, how many people are watching you right now?
10? No. 13.
13?
Yeah.
I'm gonna search them up right now.
I'm just a little streamer.
You're little? Yeah. Oh yeah, little streamer.
Oh, incredibly
There's
aggressive.
10.
They've not really been too
I
scared. There's
heard
been some
10.
fast-paced rounds. There's been crazy action. I mean, that's going to make for an exciting clash in this final map. And for both of these teams coming into this, you know, a lot of the conversation was, can they beat MIBR? Can they beat Mouse Sports? Can they beat NIP? And now they're both playing for the trophy, which is spectacular. This is both of these teams reaching a level at this event that...
Yo, Highs, wait. Is the TTV in your Twitch name? Or...
No.
No?
It's not.
It's just Tofu 513?
Yeah.
Oh, so the numbers are in it?
Yeah, I think so. Wait, there's person. There's loot here. There's loot. There's a bunch of loot. Oh shoot, our person.
He's not actually a streamer.
There's person. There's loot here. Loot. Hey. I got shockwaves. And those. There's person.
Bro, come to me right here.
See them? Right there.
Right here. I got something for you. I got my kit. Right
See another one on top of that.
Come to me.
There's one over there and one over there.
Yeah, I got a med kit.
One over here. And one team over here.
Come here, I got a med kit.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Bro!
What the fuck was that, buddy?
Bro! You're gonna get me demonetized.
I don't know that.
You cursed on my Christian Minecraft server.
Sorry, okay, sorry.
Bro, he doesn't care. Oh my god. On me?
Coming. Where? Got him. Oh, what the fuck?
Bruh! Doesn't even go sorry.
I have to save you later.
Bro, I'm lagging.
Oh my god, I hit him and he killed me. Sorry.
He sends me a friend request. Do I accept people like him? Tofu. This guy. Fake. Why would I accept? Good part is no one is watching. It's the only good part. But I'm cursing on my Christian Minecraft server. 500 IQ strive, very OP, interesting.
Lost in the first two games, adapting, then coming out on top, right? We talked about experience. These guys are some of the most experienced in the qualifiers, in the actual World Cup as well. Always at the top, but also sometimes at the bottom. And now, getting all that into a blender, making a nice smoothie and coming out on top at the end. They drank it up, they got the win and drank up all that celebration as well. It was an amazing run from these guys.
That's... I love your analogies with food. It's so good.
I'm a hungry boy.
Man, it makes me want a smoothie. But again, congratulations to them. We didn't see much of them kind of coming into the FNCS finals or even during the weeks leading up to it, but they showed up big here in the grand finals. Now, as we get ready to head into NA East, why don't we look at all the teams who qualified to make it to finals? Remember, it was quite the gauntlet to make it here. There in the top left of your screen, you see Bugga, Clarity, and Stretch. I mean, this is just, it's a who's who of talent Mega, Dubs, Eclipse, Zexro, Calculator, Macwood, Rogue Shark, Flossin, Knight. Shout out to you, Flossin, I love you. More names, Bucky, Animal, Aspect. This was your prediction, actually, right?
No, I'm with Clicks, Crimson Spades. That's, I think, Bucky,
this is
Animal,
Lupo.
Aspect.
This is Lupo. It's Bucky, Animal, Aspect. Your Clicks, Crim, Spade. Is Monsters Clicks, Crim, Spade?
I think they're on Booga Stretch Clarity, but I think Bucky does have the strongest contention coming in. These guys did do really well when they were on the top of the spot. I had a little conversation with Bucky as well. The big counter he thinks to his trio, or like we all kind of agreed on, was Zayt and Saf, right? They play high ground with the shockwaves. They kind of counter their strats a little bit as well. I think personally, Click's always just being on low ground 24/7, kind of coming up near the end of the game with his shocks, with his plays. He also has contention with Bucky, and him personally, when he's in these pressurized events, he plays really well and he makes momentous plays every single section of the game to carry his team and lead them in a direction to set them loose, right? Crims also has so much experience playing in lands, playing in pressurized environments game to game, and then being set up by Clicks, it's amazing for him. Spades, off of his recent signing, also has so much momentum behind him. I think this trio is going to be one to watch, but I also think Bucky, Animal, Aspect have a grab on the format and a grab on height all the time as well. They have a big chance of winning too.
I mean, this could go anyway. We thought it was going to be MMB coming out of Europe. Instead, it was Aqua, Dashinkan, and Stompy. So even though they did have that early lead out the gate with 36 points, they just couldn't get anything else going. So we'll have to see, man. We're in here for 6 games. 6 games. Anything could happen.
I think that even with EU, the number one thing that we saw kind of occur between the grand finals, the heats, and the qualifiers, Monster said it, 9 out of 10 people were still left alive at the end of the game, right? And these storylines have been building up from the heats. I expect nothing less, probably even more from NA East at the moment, at the very end. These guys are really, really aggressive. They're very prideful of their position. They're very prideful of the way they play. They see someone in Storm at the end of the game, 8 circle, they're pushing in, right? I think we're gonna see amazing things in this next heat coming up.
But now if we compare like Europe to NA East specifically, out of Europe, we saw quite a bit of aggression, right? People, it feels like in grand finals, you almost have to be full send, but kind of like calculated aggression, right? Because you can't just be like, I'm gonna just dive in these people's box. With reckless abandon, you actually have to do it as a trio. You have to be working together. So what's the difference coming from Europe over to NA East?
Well, like the word that I used a lot in Europe was wavelengths, right? Everyone's got to kind of figure out what the right line to walk is. If you're doing really well early, how do you hold on to that lead all the way to late? We saw MMB drop that lead, but that's the other wavelength, right? If you're doing bad early, Aqua, how do you pick that back up? How do you push that all the way to the end of the actual format, the end of the 6 games? There's 2 things always on these people's minds, and it might falter the way they play because you don't have that pressure every single game, which is the 6 games along with your early, middle, and end game per game. So balancing those 2, the IGL, the support from your players towards the IGL on that balance is going to be the key. And East, I think, has the region with the best communications in the entire world. So they're going to have a big plate to eat, but they're going to have the right utility to eat that food on their plate. Once again, food analogy. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Look, I love food too, so I get it. Now, we did see quite the list of names, so why don't we remind you guys of the predictions we made earlier on in the week. We had 2 separate pieces. One was defending our case, and one was giving the initial thoughts. Sundown's got Bugga, Clarity, and Stretch, as do I. Shy Wager, you picked up Clicks, Crimson Spade. Monster Deface had Saf, Zayt, and Zypha. And Dr. Lupo rounded out our trios with Aspect, Animal, and Bucky. I mean, you yourself said all these trios, I think it's just going to come down to who can have that best start, right? Sometimes it's just going to be your day. And sometimes even when it's not your day, you just have to suddenly make it your day.
Hey man, predictions master. I called Aqua already, 1 for 1, right? We're gonna see exactly what goes on in NA East. I think Crims, Clicks, and Spades have what it takes, but once again, it's gonna be very, very close at the top. It'll be a celebration for me. It'll be a celebration for someone at the end of the running, right? Because there's a lot of prizing to go around once again from the top to the bottom of everyone that's made it to grand finals. It's a nice bonus from being in the heats. So either way, just playing your actual game and where you are is the important part. Predictions or no predictions, they're gonna have stuff to look at themselves game to game. They're gonna have that right mental, right? You don't wanna tilt off because that's where things go wrong.
Yeah, we saw some of that kind of play back with MMB, and that's, couldn't quite get it up and rolling, but We'll have to see how things shake out for everyone here participating in North America East. Don't forget, after this, we will wrap the day with North America West. We're on board for 12 more games of Fortnite. And at the end of it all, we're crowning season champions for West and East. East and West, I like that, probably would have sounded better. But anyway, we are getting ready. I know you want games. We want games. You know who else wants games? Monster D-Face and Dr. Lupo. Wait a minute, hold on. Is it Sundown and Dr. Lupo? Okay. You know what? I'm just going to run off stage now.
That's actually how he runs too. That's not like ironic or trying to promote anything. I lived with him for 2.5 months. He moves from place to place like that, particularly when he's excited, not even intentionally. He just kind of scurries around like that. Zeke, I don't think it's efficient.
Zeke's natural state.
This is Championship Sunday, Zeke. This is serious business.
We'll have a talk with him after the show. Don't worry, folks. We'll take care of it. But you're right. NA East coming up. We have 6 games in store here. One of the most hyped up regions because, honestly, for as far as social media goes, the engagement from some of these players, I mean, they're all over the place. We've seen them countless times in previous events where you and I have both had opportunities to commentate over them. I'm looking forward to seeing the duo from Sentinel plus Bucky landing at retail and keeping hopefully some consistent drops there. Although we did see in Europe that if that drop is contested, things can go bad pretty quickly.
I mean, you're so occupied on other things, but the matches are ready. Will it be the veterans, the Tfus, the Vivids, and the Chaps of the world? Will somebody rise up? Will we see Bucky, Animal, and Aspect continue their domination, or will another World Cup champion stake his claim as a Season X champion as well? Match 1, NA East. We're underway, Lupo. We're dropping from the bus. Let's get it.
Excited to see where people decide to drop. A lot of these drops have been very, very practiced by players, so the option to maybe change it up, not necessarily high on the board unless they get contested and things go bad. We saw towards the end of the European finals, players were electing to go to different locations, so we will see how this plays out.
And last night, so I stayed up, watched Oceania, watched Mr. Fresh Asian, the server replays, and the X2 twins, but Bucky and Parpy were going back and forth the entire time in the X2 twins chat, while the rest of NAEs who should have been sleeping were just watching them be like, you still going retail? You just want to be eliminated off drop every time? Like, come on. You're not anything. OCE up. Let's go. But now, hopping on board here with the solo World Cup champion, Booga, Stretch, and Clarity. They're over in Moisty Palms, not forced away from the prop hunt. They said, hey, we've staked the claim. We like the loot. And I mean, shout out to Destiny Jesus, who actually did a little bit breakdown here. There's a lot of stuff in Moisty Palms, and not a lot of people are wanting to go fight over there, but you do see Kaz on the split drop by Prison with Stretch, so maybe an engagement over there potentially?
A 1v1 situation right now as the rest of his trios nowhere to be seen on the minimap thus far. So if they wanted to, they could potentially apply pressure if Stretch feels like he's in a confident position. We'll have to see here in a second. Meanwhile, Greasy Grove, no taco time currently, but Rogue Shark, Flossin, Knight, holding it down. A little bit of a 1v1 inside the house. Tack shot lands there. Looks like quite a bit of shield damage. Rogue Shark going to try and rotate up so you can find an angle, and there is the angle found. J-Love. He's Germ.
Oh, taco time.
That actually might end up saving him, at least temporarily.
I mean, so he will end up rejuvenating a little bit of health there, but no help coming in enough to, or not enough to delay him over. Too far separated, and you can see Ando and Germ trying to find an angle, Floss, and making sure he keeps Germ's head down, keeps the pressure, and Germ has now also rotated onto metal, indicating that he's pretty much out of materials. The early Elam giving a quick influx into Rogue Shark should give them the advantage in this fight.
This should be a signal soon. If Flossin can get a solid flank from over on the left, which he's in position for, pressure might be the best call here. Rogue Shark picking up a taco, get a little bit of that speed buff plus the 10 shield off of it. You see him perched up on top. A restaurant there right in the middle. I'm expecting relatively soon Flossin will make a move here. He has the best pinch position. May just rotate over with Rogue Shark. That's going to be the case. So both are pushing up now with Knight on the right side.
Ando is just in such a bad position right now. He is getting pinched from all over. He's trying to get a cheeky angle with that, but just caught way out in the open. Taco time going to reserve that up. Zappers are there trying to play around that. He is able to disengage, and because they didn't have shields, that's actually a lot of effective health in the trade that Floss Knight and Rogue Shark aren't really getting. However, this should eventually be cleaned out. They're keeping the angles. They have the mat advantage. Ando's down. Derb is down. Taco time has been completed, and Greasy Grove belongs to Rogue Shark, Flossin, and Knight.
Trio pickup right there. 3 eliminations, the first 3 very early in game 1. 89 players still to go. Going to continue to farm down here. Occasionally, I guess, grab some tacos in midair and continue the run around, but looting should be essentially free reign at this point for the trio.
Yeah, and they're going to have a lot of room. Now, generally, you don't see a ton of contestant going on in Greasy, but because of the tacos and just the faster looting, and you have the rift spawns directly to your north that also give you about 300 plus brick if you break it down, you're effectively able to only farm up wood and the metal that's available in there, rotate over the rifts, and then get out of dodge. There's also a number of driftboard spawns there, so your options aren't limited coming out of here. It's just playing around taco time. If you're able to do it and the contestant is there, you're set.
We do know for sure, based on tweets and things like that, that there are a lot of high-skill trios that have dropped out here in the southwest corner of the map. And with Greasy where it is, you face a potential chance that players are going to rotate in and through, or at least around. So there's a chance that people are going to try and skirt your drop, take shots on the move. Tossley, Schneider, TK down here. They own Lucky Landing. You have quite a few materials, a little bit of a loot share at the bottom. They own it now, by the way. You see they have 3 eliminations thus far. An infantry rifle early game is a solid pickup. You have a chance to guarantee some mid to late game eliminations.
But sitting on only 75 effective HP, he needs to find some shields. And as I say that, Slurp Juice comes to the rescue. And honestly, he should probably be looking to just hold on to that, because this entire pagoda has been unlooted, so it should work top to bottom. And there's a chest right there if there's minis in that chest.
If there's minis.
I mean, he still has time to do it, obviously, right? But assuming he's going to loot pretty quickly. But you probably should have held that slurp. It's okay, though. Trying to maximize his efficiency, going to get the shells up top as well. And the chest up there now with the new... Oh, it's okay, bro. It's okay. Take a deep breath. Relax. You're fine. You got 3 points going on. Will now get the chest all the way up top.
There we go.
And they have figured out now that the change I'm a big fan of, if you break something, the chest now just opens up and gives you stuff. I can't tell you the number of times I broke something accidentally or like placed a ram's through something and ate a chest. So big fan of that.
That's actually a wild quality of life change, because imagine like a chest that's sitting on like a table. Instead of taking the time to hold down the button to open it, you can one tap the table to pickaxe and you get all the loot instantly. That little like speed increase for looting in some situations can give you elimination. Like if you have multiple people pressuring an area, you just pop the chest super quick with one swing, grab everything inside and use it. That can be huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's created a lot of different interactions. And I mean, my big fan is the old pirate camps. He used to actually have a single cart that if you mishit it at the wrong time, you just eat 2 chests. Yep. And the number of times I did that. But now on board with Booga, as they rotate through that first set of bridges, found a launch pad, bubble shields, but he is still wanting of a shotgun right now. However, that Epic Tac SMG will still rip it up, going to pick up the uncommon shotgun over there as well. So really rounding out his loadout. Because they pulled zone, they should be looking to hit 1,500 mats as soon as possible, and then be looking basically for unlooted areas in the center in order to upgrade their weapons.
At this point, like you said, a lot of materials just sitting out here. You got walls, multiple sources of metal, a chance to just kind of dance around up here. No one's going to apply pressure. You see the full mini map in the bottom right corner of your screen. We know for sure that they're pretty much free and clear to loot right here. Most of the teams are still on the outside of what is the next safe zone. South edge, super safe. Far east side, super safe. A lot of chances for these players to build up big material counts before they start to make moves. And one of the things that you're going to see as we start to get closer towards the next rotation, once these circles start to close down, I was literally about to say, he marks it right there. You're going to see these players that have secured loadouts start to go for chances for even higher loot. If you didn't land retail, you kind of got to make up it's not really slack, but there are players that have gold weapons, things like that out there. You want to try and get a buffer like that too, and so you're going to see people like Booga push for those crates.
And everyone is pushing towards that crate right now. You saw them tag it. There's a team already directly on it. Clicks, Crimson, Spades are all headlining towards it because people realize NA East in particular is a much more passive region. People enjoy playing for late game. They think that if they're able to get there with consistent loadouts, that's when they're able to make plays and convert on it. This is going all the way back to Summer Skirmish Week 1. If you compare NA East directly to Europe, by like a margin of nearly 20 to 30%. The elimination curves are more steep in Europe. What that means particularly for trios, as the map is more spread out, you're looking for key moments when engagements will happen. The supply drop is one of them. When Storm Surge ends up being forced on is another, or as the half in, half out forces rotation and for utility to be burned and people moving towards it. But now Click's looking to try and catch somebody on the rotate, takes the shot right as the jump comes through. A little bit of support coming through from Crims, and they unfortunately trade out a headshot on the other side of that. Click's getting ripped for 68 there.
This is a really confident trio too. They typically they land pleasant, and like a word of advice for people, going pleasant is going to be tough. This trio will literally rock your games, 6 out of 6 times if you make your way over there. It's not really an intimidation thing. It's more of just like they're very, very confident in their positioning and play style. So pleasant, if they do end up going there, it's going to be a tough drop for anybody.
I see what you did. I know exactly what you did. You get, yes.
Merely just talking strategy here, man.
Yep, that was very analytical there. Sometimes it's just, you don't want to get rocked right off of the bat. 6 out of 6 sounds very threatening. And,
exactly.
I heard Eclipse, they told them not to. They just don't blame them, man. It's okay.
They're pushing far south. Everybody pretty much has to move to the very south end of the map. You've got a lot of teams that are going to start running into each other in rotation. You see Salty very, very empty right now. Potential chance for some free loot on the move here.
Also, definitely do want to give a shout out to Zimio and the Fortnite competitive team. He's been Fortnite competitive Reddit. He's one of been on there all the time. He's kind 100%. Of like their herald, able to get all the way through, just saying like kind of he's the homer for that group and everyone kind of rooting for him.
Oh, people gas him up in there all the time, which is great to see.
Oh yeah, and you gotta love when the support comes through. But now some nades coming out, an aspect on the other end of that being caught right at the max distance. Not sure if they had the mags up, but 9Breeze trying to get the follow up, and a good job from Statsy, Strobe, and Breeze. And Statsy was absurdly pumped yesterday as well. He's like, grand finals, anything, if you set your mind to it, you can do it. Taking down the aspect right there. I mean, one of the favorites of the trios. We saw them play so well yesterday, made the solos for the Fortnite World Cup, and just a big upgrade in loot from that as well.
Kind of a scary situation now for Bucky and Animal. Gonna have to rotate away right there. Remember, this is just game 1. NA East Finals. A lot of opportunities for players to make some plays over the course of the next 6 games. Satsy, Breeze, and Strobe making a move here. That one elimination solid already. The launch pad for rotation. If they do get caught out here, they can burn that in kind of a pinch situation if they don't want to take any risks or anything like that. But I would hope an opportunity to save it would come through here. There are 3 trios, well, 2 trios and a duo left in front of them directly south, which means squeaking into this next safe zone is going to be difficult. You see Symphony, Reverse, and Slacks on the left side there, using that shield bubble to make their way in safely, although giving away their position almost entirely to anybody that has line of sight.
Yeah, they're using the driftboard on the shield bubble, or the shield bubble on the driftboard as their center rotation. That's Symphony who is piloting that one. Now we're looking over onto the flip side as Macwood, Zexro, and Calculator are up on the high ground but under fire. Some Solar nades coming out towards the top, but disengaging down after the 100 ticks come through. Calc does take a little bit of damage. Firing the RPG out should look to cover it up, but reset that wall. You don't want to catch a sniper. We saw what happened to MMB. An early snipe can be absolutely tilting, but now Macwood just posted up. They have decent positioning, but the problem is because of where they are on the map, a lot of people are going to want priority on the zone here, and they can still be shot down from one other higher area. So they have to be very careful. And as I say that, Bugga gets ripped apart, and those edge of walls can be very difficult to actually build on. There's a couple areas we sneak out, and Bugga is trying to disengage. 31 tag on somebody else, but a trade out right there. 2 headshots coming through very quickly to force Macwood back down. Say, hey, back off. That's my teammate.
Take a second, pop some minis, maybe a chance for a splash. Everybody stacks together. Macwood, though, staying built up inside here, paying the price for a little bit too long of a peak. Gonna be okay in the grand scheme of things. Zexro, 100 HP, 100 shield, 1 elimination thus far. 103 total builds. Not gonna share there. There's those splashes. Everybody pushed up a little bit more. Bugha, Stretch, and Clarity all still in this match. Not looking too great in terms of HP and shield in comparison. Meanwhile, Schneider pushing into the box of Mackwood, Zexro, and Young Calculator finding that second elimination for the trio.
That was definitely a Storm Surge full tilt going. Like, that was like, hey, we're about to go down anyway. He got just destroyed with that one body shot coming through onto Zex, but that looked like it was a last second, hey, we have to go, which when forced into it, if you're not able to get tags early on or catch tags when rotating, it's tough. Sometimes you do have to full send. I can't imagine you're pushing in to such a fortified position if that's not the case.
Yeah, W keying, and at that point, you're either throwing or you're too worried about Storm Surge threshold. And you see, even still now, Zexro and crew are only 27 above before they start taking damage.
2 more players need to go down.
Yep.
Again, Storm Surge's thresholds are 70, 70, 50, 50, 30, 30 for players remaining in the respective circles. Storm Surge works is 25 damage every 10 seconds, and it is dealt to the most passive players in the lobby, defined by who has not been doing damage to their opponents.
You know, it's interesting. So Schneider had rotated up north out of Lucky. A team has now moved into that same position. Granted, a lot of it's been looted, but it's uncontested now, which is a big pickup for the trio that moved in.
Yeah, and you can see that zone actually pulled almost as far northwest as possible from that circle, which means a lot of movement's going to go through. Niddle, Casker, and Schmack all just get dropped. That was another trio hit alive. Bucky on the receiving end of this now, caught in the open. Can they get the full? That's 221s. Chap with the beams coming through, and he does. Chap saying, this one's for the Liquid Boys. Let's send it on out. Him, Vivid, and Sizz Lucky were second place to Bucky, Animal, and Aspect yesterday. But he said, hey, we're the #1 team who didn't end up going retail. We felt like we executed on our game plan well. We don't expect people to get that uncontested in the grand finals, so that means we like our chances. And honestly, they've played in this situation for how long? They know all of these trios. This is what they practice for. They've been in the same lobbies. They know these players' tendencies, and they might be one of the dark horses to potentially challenge for a top spot after the performance yesterday.
I mean, you called Chap old yesterday.
I called them older veterans.
I'd go with experience. Your boy Chap out here with Vivid and Sizz Lucky. A solid trio.
I mean, when they're nearly double the age of like the Mega, Dubs, and Eclipse, they're not double, but like 10 plus years. Like,
all right now.
They're definitely on the older end of the spectrum, but not taking away from their ability to execute at all. Still sitting on an Elim in great position right now. Plenty of shields, plenty of mats. Center zone on zone 4, and a lot of trios are going to have to rotate into them. And that, oh God, that's almost like a bait, right?
100%. You don't step out and go for that just yet. I think you wait on rotation when people are too distracted by anybody else flying through the air. That's a big grab for them if they do move over and grab it. And you have made the recommendation. Metal as the structure is huge. You protect against Solari Nade unless it's just an absolute onslaught. But you don't want to go get that crate just yet because everybody right now is watching for people that are trying to make moves early. You want to wait till the chaos cuts loose and you can make a move when everyone else is distracted. So I do hope they pick that crate up if they get a chance. But they are already in the safe zone, so maybe it's not worth it at this point.
I figured, but oh no! No,
scuffed launch pad.
He caught the corner of his head, and Kadrit actually gets beamed out.
Oh my gosh.
They both got beamed out of the sky. Kez and Sebi trading out. Now he's going to land in the tree, shockwave out just to try and pull center zone. He says, peace, guys. I'm playing for placement now. We have our 5 elims already, so not in an awful position, but you just have to leave them go. And I mean, Shy Monster talked about this all the time. If you don't do a low launch when you have the ability to do, you're asking to get beamed. You're asking to get L2'd. You're asking to get mongreled. You'll be caught out of the sky as Mega and Dubs pick up a number of elims there, and Tabs now. Oh, quick edit! Gets 145 onto the player, trying to follow up with the spray. Kuna stares in the box, but the other side of the bubble shield allows for the disengage. Can he pick up the 6 elim? Will he find it? Does. Spades goes down. Shio's pick. You said your predictions were good. Not so good right there, as Tabs picks up elim number 6. Does have the attack, being pinned in by the minigun right now, but Clarity also is able to pick up an elim. And this is the time, notice now, they're trying to branch over towards that supply crate while it's all going on, and it's not going to happen. Monster Deface's pick, Zayt, Saf, and Zypha still in the match as well, but down to their trusty duo.
Looking for a heavy snipe combo here. Just a quick note, if you're working on your box fighting, that kind of thing, I know a lot of pro players already know this, but if you edit that window open, you get a ramp or pyramid placement inside in their box. It is so much easier to apply pressure after that because you know they can't ramp against you. I would recommend definitely working on that. Saf, though, shots here. Saf and Zayt still up. Said Zypha out of it. No eliminations thus far, but this compact attack SMG right there, trying to find a hit through the surfaces. Burns through walls so fast, and it's Tfue caught off guard, going for the loot in the corner to make his way through there. Pressure still being applied here. They're going to try and burn through as many materials as possible. I think for just a second, there were in fact shots from yet another angle on the player that is trying to build and defend there. We are at the 50-50 circle. 57 seconds until this closes, but there's a lot of players on the south side of this. They're going to have to make a move here. Zate looking to see if he can find a beat on a player underneath, just kind of owning the environment. And here we go, the shockwave setup there, and these players, once this catches back up, they're going to go all the way up top, drop back down a little bit, trying to establish a base of operations up here.
And Vivid just picked up Stretch as well, so him and Lucky and Chap are able to do well. Plus, the OCA invasion is coming through. Parpy still putting up numbers. That is their second or third Elan that we've seen. 19 trios remaining, 47 players left in the lobby. Still over half of the people who loaded into the game are here and stacked on top of each other, moving into Circle 6. And now this is about your teamwork and how well you're able to execute together, because this is what Fortnite is all about. The late game, the zone wars, the tunnels, the builds, the quick edits. Who will be the hero? Quick double snipe at close range, not able to find it as Zay and Saf are going hunting.
I would expect you see the minigun fire over there, maybe a little window edit, a cheeky shot from one of these two heavy snipers to see if they can find a bead on an opponent. Right now, just using the transparency in the metal walls. That's where they do the edit and reset to track anybody moving on the outside. Metal walls still have a whole ton of HP. Here we go. He's marking a spot for a shot, seeing if there's anybody over there. Nobody quite yet. Now they are. We can see the silhouettes, and that transparency may give away their location. He's looking up top. This kind of awareness is key. They're making sure they're keeping track of anybody that they think may still be around them. And if they saw that launch pad, you know that the team that may be the ones that we're going to challenge on the move, they're gone, so that they are free to move. Tabs goes down in the feed. Macwood picking up 2 knocks. Zora, Jalen both down now. Landing directly on Snake. Saf says, this is my box now. The trap play and the block. The push into the corner. Saf's awareness is literally through the roof right now. Stays alive without taking a point of damage and picks up a back-to-back. 2 Elims now for Saf. You are insane.
That ramp was so good because it blocked the trigger on the trap. He still moved to the correct corner anyway, but he had an insurance policy. You also see a little bit of revenge going down as Parpy was able to pick up part of the Macwood trio. Lucky still picking up Elims as well. We're closing in on top 12, which is that first big placement threshold. And now we have a third tier Storm Surge going on. Saf does get the conversion there onto Snake. Lucky picking up another Elim as well. Calc picking up reverse in the feed, and they're still rolling. This is now 3 Elims all on the back of Saf, but they've been in this position before. Looks for the snipe, doesn't find it onto the high ground. Knocked down a level when he needs to get back to his partner. He says, all right, shockwave's up, time to go. High ground retake on the far side of the zone. Fox is up, and he's going to reset. 14 trios remaining. Parpy goes down. Still 14 left. Kez goes down. Thwyfo is down. Zexro gets knocked to make it 13, but Falter gets converted by Cloud, and we have our top 12.
Literally the feed in the top left, one of the most important spots to watch. Fuzzy knocked down in the bottom. Zate finding an elimination. First game thus far, Dubs gone. Inspire picking up 2 in the feed. Flossin takes Kaz out. Fuzzy knocks Dubs. So many eliminations and knocks going through here. We watch Zate double back. Gonna pick up some loot on the outside, but all the way on the ultimate high ground. The most established tarp right now, Chap, Vivid, Lucky, having the top down on everybody else.
Top 8. Another round of placement points going.
So I'm gonna end the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to do it later. I'll schedule it, but yeah, like you, signing out. Bye. 4 hours almost.